from is called Screams Before Silence, a movie mostly sourced by testimonials from one victim of sexual assault who we have no reason not to believe, but also from testimonials by Zaka, which is a post-disaster response team with very close ties to the Israeli government. Zaka was the original creator of the 40-beheaded babies hoax, which was later debunked, leading Zaka to create the far more effective mass systematic hoax, of which the special representative of the Secretary General on Sexual Violence and Conflict for the United Nations claimed there was no evidence for. She was asked, "Would you say that you found a pattern of violence that was a strategy of Hamas, both in the October 7 attacks and in regards to the hostages?" Patton answers definitively in the negative. According to the UN report, Patton conducted confidential interviews with 34 individuals, including survivors and witnesses of the October 7 attacks, released hostages, first responders, and health and service providers. It visited 4 attack sites, as well as the morgue to which the bodies of victims were transferred, and reviewed over 5,000 photographic images and some 50 hours of footage of the attacks. However, in the conclusion of the report, Patton writes that, in the medical legal assessment of available photos and videos, no tangible indications of could be identified. Now, I need to reiterate, it is very likely that did occur, and even in the UN report, it was claimed that several corpses were found in questionable positions that could indicate sexual violence occurred. However, according to the special representative of the Secretary General on Sexual Violence and Conflict for the United Nations, there was no visible pattern of sexual violence used by Hamas as a strategy of war. Probably occurred, but there is no tangible evidence and there is no visible pattern of sexual violence used by Hamas as a strategy of war. This movie, Screams Before Silence, was also produced by Sheryl Sandberg, an American technology executive who formerly worked as the COO of Meta from 2008 to 2022. Meta has its hands all over the United States government, mostly in selling information, technology, and offering special tools for feds. So there's obviously a greater incentive to make such a film, and with a lot of money, you can get very young women to make false claims about in order to justify genocide. This is a very basic part of history. Hoaxes being used to justify genocide, whether it be under Western expansion and genocide of Native Americans in the United States, or in the Jim Crow South, where black men and boys were lynched for the hoax of touching a white woman. The woman who claimed she was touched by 14-year-old Emmett Till, leading to his murder and mutilation, has admitted to making a false report and is still alive to this day, facing zero repercussions. This hoax strategy was also used against Jewish people in Nazi Germany. This is so simple to understand, yet Ethan and Hila are participating in genocide justification. Okay, let's see the rest of this clip, and then
before we get any further, yeah. He's a sexist. He sexistly thinks Adam's a stupid and is afraid Madame Banana or Hassan will wipe the floor with him. I mean, yeah, I've felt this way for a very long time, but I feel like it's very obvious that he holds a lot of sexist opinions. Like, to some extent, you do not live in a vacuum. You, according to your society, will develop biases. I'm probably sexist in ways that I don't know about. Probably everyone here is sexist in ways that they don't know about. It's just, guy who says women want to be conquered is sexist. Well, no, he doesn't say they want to be. He says, like, they're meant to be, which is worse. I think it's very telling that this man who won't hesitate to foam at the mouth at the mere mention of him from so many people didn't have a thing to say after Hassan talked about him for 2 days. Yeah. The goal is that you just try to recognize when you feel like you just have to make an active effort to try to recognize your biases that you're not aware of and be constantly like on the lookout for it, because they will sneak up on you. And I think he has the same perspective here. Like, there is shit that he probably thinks that he's like a feminist icon because he only calls women he doesn't like bitches, right? Women who deserve it, right? Well, he has podcasts with women. Well, he has employees that are women, all this other stuff, right? But there's shit that you're not aware of. We're all probably sexist in some weird way that we're unaware of. Isn't that right? You bitch, yeah. Yeah. My mother was a woman, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing with, like, racism, right? Like, if you grew up in America, I mean, most of the world, honestly, but I'm just going to talk about my personal experience. You grew up, I promise, internalizing some racist beliefs. The question is, how racist and how hard do you try to fight back when you recognize that you feel something that's obviously wrong or bigoted or whatever? But like, you have these biases. You can't help that you are raised in a society that has these implicit biases. So you accept that, yeah, I probably have these biases in areas that I don't recognize, and I should be more cognizant of it. And when someone criticizes me for something that I've done, I shouldn't be quick to say, no, I'm not. I see everyone equally. You should try and listen to the words that they're saying. Am I sexist for thinking all women should go to a museum? Yeah. As a kid who grew up during pre and post 9/11, I had a hard time overcoming Islamophobic indoctrination when I was young. Yeah.
We'll get into Denham's response, which further covers the false claims and smears made by Ethan.
What is this? And yes, she is a fucking bitch. Somebody that laughs in the face of other fucking victims and immediately calls them liars. That's a fucking bitch of a person. If not that, then who? She is earning the coveted distinction of being a
This is why I say that he doesn't actually care about any of these victims. He just wants an excuse to be able to treat the people he doesn't like, the people who clown on him, in the way that he wants to treat them.
Congratulations.
Which is why he gets her story wrong. He wasn't even listening to her when she was talking. He just made some shit up when she was talking because he doesn't care.
Enjoy the distinction. I've come here and I have made the distinction. I have decreed, let it be known, that Denham's is a dumb fucking bitch.
This dude is a quote-unquote progressive social democrat, by the way. Oh, but his only friends nowadays are Trump supporters, so make of that what you will. In response, Denham's took a day off from streaming. Not 2 months, just a single day, to put together a response to Ethan's misogynistic rant and his incredibly dangerous false accusations.
Hey guys, I think I pissed off Ethan Klein. He hasn't had a lot of nice things to say about me since the incident.
45,000 live viewers, by the way. 45,000 views. She had like 45,000 live viewers.
So, yeah, I got around 45,000 viewers covering Ethan Klein's same shirt. It's a different color, damn you. It's a different color. On Hassan. The video was pretty terrible overall. And I think anyone that wasn't sure before is completely certain now that Ethan has become a shell of his former self. I mean, shit, I used to watch this guy in high school.
Now, Denham's video is only 14 minutes long, so given this criticism, you'd think Ethan would be willing and able to react to Denham's 14-minute-long video in full, right? Of course not. Ethan instead decided to react to, not only out of context, but deliberately spliced clips he found on the H3H3 Productions subreddit. And I'm just gonna take a wild guess that the person who spliced these clips together is also active in the Destiny subreddit. Oh, would you look at that?
Let's take a bet. Does she ever acknowledge the fact that she lied about a victim, or is it just like ad hominem? Lock in your answer now. Let's see.
Calling me as an ex-Destiny orbiter. He's doing this to distract from the fact that he's currently orbiting Destiny.
Okay. First of all, I'm bigger than Destiny. That's not how gravity works. Okay, lady, take a fucking class on science. I've been bigger than Destiny. Okay.
So I want to hear you talk.
Okay, so you're supposedly a smart girl. Come on. Okay, orbiting Destiny would mean they collaborated together. They like call into each other's show. They do stuff together.
I don't want you to fall into a trap here because she's got receipts.
Okay.
I think Ethan and Neela just have a...
I love the literal translation of orbiting, by the way, there. It's just so funny, dude. It's so funny. Oh, God. You say you're drowning in paperwork. Drowning would imply that your entire body was covered in paperwork. I don't see that happening. Drowning would suggest that you were struggling to breathe. I see you breathing just fine. You're supposed to be a smart girl. You're not even drowning. You're breathing just fine. Like, just no understanding of like just anything, just anything.
Humiliation fetish? Because if you just watched the video in full, you would understand that the brief section on Destiny is meant to be comic relief before Denham starts talking about the much more serious accusations of denial.
Okay, I thought those two clips were fun, but the next clip is a little bit more serious. Before we get into it, a quick palate cleanser.
But I just think it's funny. Her and Hassan are the ones calling me an orbiter, and they're the motherfuckers who were part of this guy's life
They are
when
the
accusations
actual
existed,
orbiters.
and they benefited from his.
You guys are the actual orbiters. They're real in real life, like where we live in the reality. You guys are the orbiters. So there's that.
Y'all live
Where
in
we live in
Destiny
reality.
solar system. I'm out here, rogue black hole. I don't know nothing about nobody.
These people are literally stuck in 2018. Like everyone under the leftist umbrella on Twitch now knows to stay as far away as possible from Destiny. Yet Ethan is frequently browsing his subreddit, and whenever he's talking about Destiny's crimes, he seems oddly unfazed by it, compared to when he talks about Hassan's much less serious accusations of supposedly supporting terrorism.
Although I'll say Hassan is having quite a week. He's doing a victory lap as Destiny, his arch nemesis, was like completely and fully fucking canceled / exposed this month. Pixie showed screenshots of him being like, I'm so sorry if there's anything I can do, you know, if I can pay you to...
Oh, Destiny?
Yeah.
Said that? Oh, wow. That's deeming.
He said stuff like, you know, I don't know if it helps, but yeah, here he is offering to pay some of her bills. He says, this feels super lame, and I don't at all want to imply that somehow just giving you money helps anything go away or fixes everything for you. But if you have any bills or owe money or anything, or have financial stuff I can help with, I can at the very least chip in and help with any of that. So it's at least one less thing you have to worry about or stress over while you're worrying about getting through this. I had heard this leak happened, and I thought it was just memes and stuff, because apparently there was like a picture or a video of him like sticking a dude off. Everyone thought that was funny, whatever. There's nobody on the entire platform.
Wow, what amazing coverage there. Really good. Really good coverage there. Very good critical coverage of a guy who's currently being sued in civil court, and that at least one woman has gone to the police to file criminal charges. Or sorry, to file a police report and then also file criminal charges. And you're like, look at this guy. You know, he really was trying to like pay her bills and stuff to make up for it and everything. Okay. All right.
For him to call him out. Nobody. They've all been
And then this is his coverage of Hassan.
banned. They've all been banned. Nobody. There is not a single dissenting voice with his fucking straight up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic, pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-terrorism takes. This is fringe, psychotic, that is not normal. And it is the only acceptable voice on Twitch. Explain that to me. How is there not one dissenting voice on that entire platform? And this has really contributed to a lot of extremism being normalized. Is because young people are on Twitch, they go to Hassan, and they think this is normal. And it's the only option. You can't even click over to someone else who's like, actually, this is why Hassan's wrong. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. That's fucking crazy, dude.
All right, back to the video.
Hassan and his community is desperate to link me to Destiny, someone who I don't even know. They claim that he like ghost wrote my video, that he's my favorite creator.
I wonder why people might think that. But really, just ask Destiny.
Oh shit, she's doing some like Sherlock Holmes type of shit right here, boy. I'm in the middle of a crazy clue game.
Okay.
Here's what he had to say on October 22nd, the day after Ethan Klein got caught browsing his subreddit.
I know it wouldn't look good for Ethan.
I don't know what got caught browsing his subreddit. Can you show me what that means? Like, what the f are you talking about?
What does that mean? Doesn't show.
Like, that I showed an image that also appeared on his subreddit or something? Like,
Do they know that like if you open a subreddit, that still doesn't make you an orbiter of Destiny?
I don't know him.
If you opened a subreddit, meanwhile, it's like on the most viewed subreddits for Ethan Klein. Meanwhile, the shit that he shows on his stream, on his show, like 90% of it is curated from his Reddit, which is like being cross-posted from Destiny's subreddit. Meanwhile, he has literally like tabs open of Destiny's subreddit.
They're like, oh,
just to like bring her back to reality for a second.
I mean,
if you opened the Destiny subreddit, it does not make you an orbiter of Destiny.
They disagree.
Oh.
Ironically, being friends with him and wanting to sleep with him and streaming with him and
hanging out,
you know, having good time, having sex in his bed. Could that happen?
I mean, yeah, you have a pattern of using memes and screenshots sourced from the Destiny subreddit. Your own H3H3 subreddit has been infiltrated by Destiny fans, and your recently visited tab on Reddit frequently features the Destiny subreddit. You are clearly in his orbit, whether or not you even realize.
I know it wouldn't look good for Ethan to publicly do anything with you, but if you reach out on private at all, well, privately we chat a ton, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much the past week? I'm like scripting these videos, but publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with him because Hassan is just going to accuse me of like mind basically, right?
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Denims is a dumb... Well said, sir.
Right.
Wait, if you look at her face, it almost looks like she doesn't even believe what she's saying.
That is such fucking obvious.
He's obviously joking, and she
was friends with him.
I think the funniest part about all of this, by the way, guys, is the obviously joking comment. Let's entertain the idea that it was obviously joking. Okay, great. I mean, the entire segment was a bit anyways, but let's entertain the idea. But my tier list that I got banned for 30 days for, that was very clear anti-Semitism. None of that was a joke. None of that possibly could have been making fun of Ethan Klein for being an annoying person and being Islamophobic.
Friends with him.
She admired his sense of humor and his
So she knows
personality.
he's joking.
She was very good friends with him.
So forced, bro.
Yeah, look at her face afterwards.
It comes back, she's like,
Yikes.
what
Am I
else
right?
is he weren't willing to lie about? Did you guys know that he pulled a
have to share
meme
something
from the
with all of you.
Destiny subreddit?
These people are such idiots. They think everyone else is just the dumbest motherfucker in the world. Denims is so obviously joking. Oh, and here's the first instance of a spliced clip. And it actually makes Ethan look super guilty. This is the clip they played on stream.
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Denims is a dumb. Well said, sir.
And here is the actual clip from Denim's video.
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
I never Destiny.
Anyways,
I don't know, Ethan. That's kind of sus. It's kind of sus that you wouldn't include that. Definitely doesn't help your case.
Well, private.
because like I put that in as a joke. Tried my hand at comedy for the first time ever, okay? Be kind to me. But I put that in as a joke. And then, like, his response to it makes me concerned that it's not.
Privately, we chat a ton, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much this week?
So he's saying he's been off stream for a long time because we've been working so
scripting your
closely
video.
hand in hand that he hasn't had time to stream.
Obviously a joke. I mean, if these people don't have the capacity to understand basic stuff like that, I don't understand why should anybody listen to them on anything.
Well, so this is part of what's so malicious about this movement that I really hope people understand. They are knowingly lie. And I think they collude and knowingly lie too, because they have very much like a
Talking about knowingly lying, by the way, is so funny.
justify the means type of
As
thing.
like
So I
Ethan
do
Klein?
believe these people collude to like spread specific, talking points. The problem is that
I didn't know, Naomi, that you were able to farm off this. Wait, the joke did numbers. Wait, dope. 10K likes. Dude, hell yeah.
so dumb that this one is actually so dumb and bad. It's not really believable, even probably to her dumbest audience members. Although, who knows? Let's see.
They don't care either.
You might be surprised. I might be surprised.
Wait, I want to see her reaction again before you close it.
Sure, yeah.
I'm like scripting these videos, but publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with him because Asana's just going to accuse me of like mind f***ing, basically, right?
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Denims is a dumb dude. That guy is so on.
Girl, you don't believe your own.
These people must just think
Girl. Dude. Oh my God.
think women are stupid or some shit. And for all my men out there, it's actually a very common phenomenon that women have to deal with. They make very obvious jokes in the presence of men, but because men typically see them as lesser than, they think the woman is simply incorrect rather than making an obvious joke. And that's what Ethan is demonstrating here.
This is the top comment, which I think we all know. She knows he's joking.
Everyone knows women don't make jokes ever. This is true. This is simply true. It's not possible. There's actually a really interesting study on it. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but it's about like how the ability to introduce comedy in a conversation is like associated with something else, which I don't remember, which men just instinctually, because of society, believe that that is not something that is available in women. So it can't be that they're joking. Also, your tone indicators are pretty clear when you're joking. I mean, yeah, it's the only part of the video that like I pull out the mug and I'm like, anyways. Like, yeah, that's like, if you don't see that as a joke, you're like actually a moron or you're just dishonest, right?
But she knows her and Hassan's audience either stupid enough to believe it or just willing enough.
Yeah, they're just
to add
willing
it to their
enough.
list of things they knowingly lie about. It's really crazy, the total detachment.
That's what I'm learning is that they're not like dumb enough, they're willing enough.
Yeah, Hassan's audience is definitely the one not understanding the humor. You guys really understand what's going on here. You're so smart. Okay, here's the other instance in which Ethan reacts to a spliced clip of Denim's original video.
This is another clip, I guess, from her video. Let's see. Another obliterating me in front of her, and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not going to fucking acknowledge what just happened?
I will acknowledge what just happened.
Oh, good. This is the first time I've ever seen one of these people.
Okay.
This is exciting.
You say.
This woman who you claimed was continually in captivity did not claim to have been.
כל פעם שפגשתי מישהו היה לפחות.
Oh my God. The narrator literally says it.
So this narrator says that she met people in captivity that it happened to them and she witnessed them telling her about it.
Let me play this and then let's say our point.
I like how their point is literally that they were wrong.
מישהו אחד שחוו התעללות.
At least one of the people said that they had suffered from physical abuse. About half of them.
חצי מהן.
In that interview, she witnessed her telling them about it.
Remember, the narrator says that people suffer.
That is not the original video. And if they had just watched the video, they would have realized how baseless their argument really is. Here is the actual clip from Denham's video.
I will acknowledge what just happened. This woman who you claimed was continually in captivity did not claim to have been. In fact, when she was released from captivity, she had this to say.
ואז אחד מהם, הצעיר, עשה איתי הורדת ידיים, אבל הוא הביא מגבת, כדי לא... כי אסור לו לגעת בי. אז
אישה היא מאוד...
This is when the girl says, women are sacred, they're like queens.
אישה היא מלכה. היו עושים לי שיחות איך לשמור על אגם. הסברנו להם שגם אצלנו...
And this is the reason why people call this story, her later story, that she told 4 months later about half the women that she met were told her that they were sexually abused in some way. The reason why they don't believe her as a narrator is because I think every reasonable person shouldn't believe someone whose story changes from, oh, all of these people were treated amazingly, they were treated like queens, we were never touched, to half the women were sexually abused. I think anyone should be skeptical of that. I think that is a very reasonable thing to be skeptical of. If there is no further context provided that shows or explains why the story changed so much.
לפעמים כן יש חבר, אני אפילו מעודדת את זה, שהיא תתנסה, שהיא תכיר, לפני שהיא אצלה מוסד הנישואים, אבל היינו מתאמתים על זה.
Later, she did a different interview for a documentary, which is what Ethan put on the screen. In that interview, she says that at least half the hostages she spoke to said they were sexually assaulted. At no point did she claim that anything had happened to her. And to my knowledge so far, no hostages have given first-hand accounts of being sexually assaulted in captivity.
כל פעם שפגשתי מישהו היה לפחות מישהי או מישהו אחד שחוו התעללות מינית והתעללות פיזית. כמעט, כאילו חצי מהם.
Now, other women have also claimed that while they weren't victims themselves, they spoke to others that were. Asking people to believe secondhand accounts that change with no explanation is insane. I take issue with other people manipulating these women's horrific experiences to fit their narratives. I have said countless times that in any military, paramilitary, or attack, there will unfortunately be sexual abuse. American troops have been found guilty of this countless times over the past few decades. I have to believe that there was sexual abuse on October 7th. I will also always believe victims who come forward to talk about their sexual abuse. I stand by that.
So yeah, what Denham's is showing and proving in this video is that the girl Ethan
to my knowledge is what Diddy G and H3 Sickos have focused on. Yeah, but like my video was not a video dedicated to doing their research for them. My video was a video dedicated to showing that Ethan Klein's a fucking liar and that he's just blatantly lying about me. They want me to make
this because your ex didn't watch your 2-month passion project, LMAO.
They wanted me, Ethan Klein wanted me to make his video for him and do weeks of research that he was too lazy to do because he was too busy jerking off about how much he hates Hassan. I said, to my knowledge, up till that point, I hadn't seen this, but their perception is like, oh, so you're saying it didn't happen? Why didn't you watch the whole documentary? What? Evidently, Ethan Klein didn't watch the whole documentary when he used the clip that he did, because if he did watch the whole documentary, he would have simply included the following woman that he later pulled up. I should not be responsible for making your video for you. Nothing I said was incorrect. Nothing I said was incorrect. I also explicitly say that I don't need to see footage or proof or have a first-hand account of this to believe that this happened. I already admit and believe and have said multiple times that sexual abuse 100% happened on October 7th. It would be unbelievably rare, like statistically, it would be an anomaly if there was no sexual abuse on October 7th. I don't need any proof of this. The only padding I added was saying that even, if anything, it's strengthening the latter point, which is I've never seen proof of this, but I don't even need to see proof of this to know that this happened. Like that's like what? Like that's not even a bold. Like that's like the most reasonable position you can have.
Originally claimed was continually in captivity and thus accused Denims of laughing at her and calling her a liar. Not only never claimed to be herself, but well before this documentary was filmed, she gave a contradicting report saying that it was forbidden for her to be touched. The clip of her saying this was very poorly received by the people of Israel, and thus when she was given another opportunity to talk about her experience, she all of a sudden changed her story, making her claims of hearing about acts of violence lose all credibility. Ethan is spreading dangerous lies that are used time and time again to justify genocide. I think there is one main takeaway we can learn from this entire Ethan versus Denim situation. Whenever Ethan is reacting to or discussing certain Twitch streamers, YouTubers, or really anyone online he has a problem with, specifically those he disagrees with politically, I think it's safe to assume more times than not that Ethan is either straight up lying or is too stupid to realize he has no idea what he's talking about.
That's who some of you are defending. That is the person.
By the way, never address anything I actually said. Just show me doing it and be like, all of your arguments are invalid, bro. You did a loop.
Thing against basically Hassan. But yeah, that's what he's doing. One more time, just so you can see. And by the way, I'm not ignoring any of the arguments that he presented. There's just no argument. We already know Hassan's a socialist.
Isn't even talking about Hassan. Like, how is he even connected to him? It's like, bro, yeah, he's a Hassan fan. He's a Hassan fan, and this is basically what's happening in his audience right now. Why would anyone accuse them of being extreme?
Okay, let's watch this.
Here he is. Previously, we talked about Hassan was like, oh, you're not on Twitter. You ran away. Well, here's Twitter. Okay, here's Hassan on Twitter, the app that he spends all day on. This country is so cooked, man. A retweet from this account, Noctis Draven. Let's take a look at this account that he, wait. Oh, it's the next link. Let's take a look here.
What a good guy.
At the account he retweeted here on X. Give it a signal boost there, bud. Here's a video of all the Jews at the New York Times. All the... wait, what happened? All the Jews at universities. Look at all of the Jews in Biden's appointments.
Once again, not to be pedantic here, but Ethan has played fast and loose with like his tethers to reality. So we do need to mention like he's putting Israeli flags there. I guess you can say that means Jewish, but and then also they say like the Jew obsession. But I guess is he labeling them Jews? Whatever. It doesn't even matter. I don't know what he's proving here. Hassan retweeted this guy that made like a weird video pointing at if it's actually like pointing out all the Jews, that is bad. I mean, I agree with Ethan there, but if he's trying to show that like Hassan's anti-Semitic because he retweeted a guy's tweet and then a year ago he posted something about how many Jews Biden has, yeah, that's great evidence that Hassan is anti-Semitic.
Hey, you know what? You're saving everything, bro.
Once again, he says Hassan is anti-Semitic, but he doesn't actually have any evidence of it. It's like his evidence is that Hassan played a Houthi propaganda music video, and Hassan called like the Jews that are actually attacking aid trucks inbred. Even though Ethan's called Jewish people being inbred, he's called Jewish people inbred for like years now. So, okay, whatever.
This one is unbelievable. This guy Xander on TikTok. Oh man, I'm always surprised by the level to which these people will stoop. Well, and then it's not just that; it's the internet's reception to it.
One more time.
Now, before you watch this, let me tell you, 150,000 likes on this. Okay, and it has let's see here, 1.3 million views. Okay, now you guys watch the show, so you know. Let's see.
One more time. That's who some of you are defending. That is the person who decided to go on this whole anti-radical Islamic thing against basically Hassan. But yeah, that's what he's doing, right? That's what he's doing. One more time, just so you can see. Ethan has already been down the alt-right pipeline. He is becoming a master of it. Dare I say he's becoming the CEO of the company.
I am the CEO of the alt-right.
By the way, I'm not ignoring any of the arguments that he presented. There's just no argument. We already know Hassan's a socialist. Hello.
What does that have to... Dude, these people, let me tell you, they are so comfortable telling Jewish people what's the correct way to act and respond to anti-Semitism. They're so comfortable telling me what is the right way, a Jewish Israeli man, how I can interact with anti-Semitism.
Okay, Okay, and I haven't seen this, but that is a humorous response from Ethan. So this guy like plays a 0.5 second clip of Ethan sig hailing. That's a dumb thing to do, right? When you're referring to Elon Musk sig hailing, and the way that you react to Elon Musk sig hailing is like, oh well, he did this, and then like he did that. Is like, is that sig hailing? That's kind of a dumb thing to do, no matter who you are on the internet, because of course it's going to be clipped out of context. But instead of just saying it was clipped out of context, Ethan says, who are you to tell me, a Jewish man, how I should react to anti-Semitism? He's like, if I... Like, what is this response, bro? Just say it was clipped out of context and move on. But instead, Ethan says, no, I'm Jewish, so if I want to sig hail, I get to sig hail. Like, that is a very strange way to come at this, dude. Like, I watched the context of that. He was clearly being like, he was clearly just imitating Elon Musk and being like, oh yeah, this is quite obviously a sig hail. Here, let me show you. And then he does it. And the crew's like, don't do that, Ethan. That's stupid. He's like, okay. But now this guy's calling him out on it. He's like, no, I am Jewish. I can do what I want when it comes to anti-Semitism.
Rationalize it, explain it, and joke about it. Imagine I told this dude, hey bro, you need to stop saying the N-word because me as a white Jewish guy, it makes me uncomfortable. That's literally what he's telling me. And instead of people being like, you're insane, he gets millions of views, 150,000 likes, and comments like, Ethan Klein's a grifter. I still feel sorry for all the foolish people who worship a mediocre mouthpiece. Wow, he crashed out for real. Why did he do that? Ethan Klein still exists, unreal. Bro, he's been on the enemy side. Like, bro, I'm a Jewish Israeli guy. And also the context of it was that I was analyzing.
Also, when we talk about Ethan in the alt-right pipeline, I don't think he's like conservative. I don't think he's alt-right. He's definitely a liberal. However, we do need to talk about how liberalism kind of paves the way for fascism. We've seen this over and over again. Liberals will basically look at the extremism of left extremism, in quotes, of like leftists and socialist people, and take stances against them. I mean, we've seen how in every single election we get more and more conservative, to the point now where Donald Trump wants to completely dismantle the United States government. When after every election that the Democrats lose, they think that we need to go more conservative. That is liberals paving the road for fascism. And it's basically like them attacking progressive people, right? Oh, we went too progressive. We need to be more reactionary now. We're in a reactionary swing of this country.
I was in the middle of calling out Elon Musk for doing it.
He's raising alarm bells about exactly the thing that he's trying to connect you to, which he's well aware of, and that's why the clip is about a half a second long.
Oh, and then like specifically for Ethan, he spent the majority of his content criticizing progressive people. Of course, that's going to attract Republicans to his show. So if he's going to be like, oh, I'm not a conservative, what are you talking about? Well, maybe you should take a look at the effective output of your channel. And the effective output of your channel has been on progressive people for the last like 6 months. So yeah, your effective output is conservative. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, that is the type of content you're putting out is conservative content, and you are going to attract conservative viewers.
There is no way that you can watch that segment and come out of it thinking that you are somehow endorsing or purposely doing it absolute because that's something that you believe in. It's blatantly and obviously disingenuous. This shit blew my mind. Like, this is insane. And like, dangerous. Like, he is going out of his way to slander you as a neo-Nazi. Like, that can get you hurt. You know what I mean? Like,
if you're gonna critique Ethan, at least try to come from an honest place.
Yeah, no, this is just like so
nothing.
Blatantly disingenuous.
It goes exactly against what he's been talking about for like months. So, I guess that's crazy.
I mean, it's a lot of psychotic behavior. Like, it's not even the fact that someone made this video. I'm not surprised that someone made such a dumb video, right? It's the way, it's the reaction to it. 150,000 likes, millions of views, and everyone's like, yeah, Ethan's a not. Oh yeah, Ethan's just doing more. That's the information that, you know.
I mean, bro, Ethan, you are literally in favor of an ethno-state to keep all Jewish people separate from non-Jewish people. I would say that's kind of like something that Nazis endorse, dude. So yeah, you're not too far apart from the ideology, like the view of Jewish people. Or wanted Jewish people to leave Germany, right? He didn't want to kill them at first, he just wanted to deport them all. Yeah. Denim's reaction to the continent nuke. Okay, let's watch this.
Saw that one. Denims. Get a load of this dumbass. Here's a Hassan Orbiter Denims. You guys might not know who she is because she's like mostly irrelevant, except she was the main freebooter of when I posted the content nuke. She had like 45,000 live viewers.
For the watch party.
For the watch party that she threw.
The watch party.
She posted, there was posts on Snark and on Hassan's subreddit saying, go watch her instead of giving Ethan views. She even said it at the end of her video, which is not great if you're trying to avoid committing copyright infringement. It's not great. It's not a great look to do that. And it'd be a shame if somebody was, well, it's just not great.
It's not a good move.
No.
What the fuck are they talking about?
For the watch party that she threw.
The watch party.
She posted, there was posts on Snark and on Hassan's subreddit saying, go watch her instead of giving Ethan views. She even said it at the end of her video, which is not great if you're trying to avoid committing copyright infringement. It's not great. It's not a great look to do that. And it'd be a shame if somebody was, well, it's just not great.
It's not a good move.
Bro, you have nothing to say. It's not great, says it 5 more times, thinks he's made a point. Dude, saying go watch this other person reacting to their content so that you don't give them views isn't saying that they're stealing your copyright, okay? You need to make the argument that they weren't reacting hard enough to it, right? It doesn't matter how many views they get. Copyright infringement is copyright infringement. You should know this, Ethan. You've like stood up for reacting to videos in your own stupid little fucking podcast that you do. And now you're saying that, oh yeah, reacting to content is not great because they said, watch me react to it instead of giving Ethan views. Like, to me, and I know this might be reaching a little bit, but to me, this feels this feels like Ethan being a little bit butthurt that his content nuke didn't get as many views as he thought it would. Let's see how many views it's sitting at. Last time I checked, it was at about 2 million, 2.5 million. I think Ethan said something like, yeah, this nuke is probably going to get like 5 million views. So, 2.4 million. Well, whatever. Top comment is now, why is nobody in the comments talking about the actual content of the video? I feel like I'm going insane. Well, I think they deleted a lot of comments, but
future.
And then
2.5 million in 5 days. That's pretty good, right? I think that's about half of what Ethan thought he'd be getting.
Hassan content nuke from Ethan Klein. Everybody get in here. 45,000 views. She usually gets like, I think less than 1,000. What does she usually get? You can look it up on that stream.
Oh my God. Who gives a why are you acting like that? Oh wait, what did Ethan say about her? What was the context of the button?
What does she usually get? You can look it up on that stream. What's funny is that.
Oh, so he's talking about denim, says what's funny is that, and then it cuts out because he said some up shit.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and then once again, she is an ex-Destiny orbiter. In fact, it's rumored, I'm pretty sure that they had a sexual relationship too. So I never fucked Destiny. Say what you will about me, but I never fucked Destiny.
You're saying that wasn't your in the leak?
Not my buddy. Not this. Yeah, Denim's ex-Destiny orbiter. Very good. Very good.
Oh, from Believe All Women to Pixar didn't happen.
Okay, if you have a clip of Denim's that you're going to dunk on, it's just weird to me that he talks about so much how he's like, oh, she never gets views, but she got a lot of views here. Isn't that a little bit suspect? Maybe she's doing some copyright infringement. And then he's talking about her being like a partner to Destiny. All right, Ethan. Okay.
The vast majority of people, if not all, who were murdered on the spot.
Here's the thing, though. We are believing the women who come forward and talk about their abuse or experiences. I'm not going to believe Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting... That's insane. You realize that that's insane, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Gam Goldstein Almog was kidnapped from her home on October 7th by Hamas terrorists and was held captive for 51 days. Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence. In new footage, Agam reveals that and was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if it happened on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if it happened on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it
What's the problem, fucking bitch?
Oh, I paused it at a bad time. So Ethan thinks this is a dunk because why does he think it's a dunk? I mean, Hassan has literally never said that didn't happen at all, right? At first, the claims were that every Hamas soldier was coming in with like the mission to assault people in Israel. And then that's been disproven. And of course, there was violence that happened, and especially with the hostages, there's that happened. Hassan never said that. He never said otherwise. And I think Ethan's really getting him on the worst possible soundbite in terms of like worse for Ethan, because Hassan is literally saying that does not justify gender. And I don't think that Ethan disagrees with it, but by using this clip, it makes it seem like he does disagree with it. And I think that's a big issue, right? I think that is some really bad content to be putting out to almost 2.5 million people when you're saying that since Hamas did violence against their female captives, or at least one female captive, and probably more. Saying that isn't an excuse to them is dumb. You are effectively saying, you know, they should kind of get right. It's just not a good hill to die on if you are Ethan Klein. If you're trying to attack Hassan, I think there are other more damning clips where Hassan laughs when Kamala Harris says all of the that happened on October 7th, and Hassan's like, oh my God, like he rolls his eyes, right? I think that could have been a better clip to get than literally saying that violence doesn't justify, and Ethan's pointing that out like it's some kind of W.
Out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence. In new footage, Agam reveals that assault and was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if it happened on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if it happened on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it
What's
happen.
the problem? Did you not hear what they said? You respect women. Why are you calling them liars? How cool is that? Say something. You just said you believe victims, but here's a victim right now, a woman telling you this happened, and you're smiling? What's funny about that?
And each week there's more stories coming out. There's a UN report that concludes it happened.
Doesn't matter.
But Hassan needs a kit from a mutilated...
Wait, wasn't this disproven? Was this clip from her disproven? Is he going to play the clip of her?
Clip of her how do you disprove firsthand testimony? Like, this should be in a museum. Okay, first of all, she's a shame on you. F you.
Okay, all right. And Hassan's a misogynistic one for saying Ethan cried like a little, but he calls that woman that worked for Twitch, and now he's calling Denims just a like over and over again. Anyway, this isn't like the right tact to take. Like, obviously, if you know this specific example and the person like recanted their testimony, then maybe you can say, oh yeah, I read an article about this specific person and they said that it was disproven. But I think it's safe to assume that hostages under the control of Hamas did experience while in the care of Hamas. Like, that's not an inconceivable thing to say. However, like, you should just repeat what Hassan was saying here and say that even though this woman experienced, that doesn't justify the... And Ethan Klein, due to the way he edited this video and is presenting this section, is making it seem like he disagrees with that fact. And thus, you can then say, Ethan Klein's editing in this section of the video makes it seem like he thinks justifies the elimination of Palestinians altogether. Okay, so I don't think Denims really like came at this with the right rhetorical strategy. And if she's going to say that this one woman's testimony was disproven or recanted, you should have evidence to back that up. You shouldn't just say, oh well, wasn't this disproven? Because if you're trying to say that wasn't this disproven, then your position effectively becomes no happened on October 7th, and it seems like you're arguing that position because you think that that would change the dynamic for you. So you should be able to accept claims of and still say this doesn't change the dynamic for me.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it
What's the
happen.
problem? Did you not hear what they said? You respect women. Why are you calling them liars? How cool is that? Say something. You just said you believe victims, but here's a victim right now, a woman telling you this happened, and you're smiling? How do you disprove firsthand testimony? She goes, I wouldn't believe it unless it was firsthand. Here's a 17-year-old whose family was murdered in front of her, and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not going to acknowledge what just happened?
I will acknowledge what just happened. This woman who you claimed was continually in captivity did not claim to have been. In fact, when she was released from captivity, she had this to say.
אז אחד מהם צעיר, עשה איתי הורדת ידיים, אבל הוא הביא מגבת, כי אסור לו לגעת בי.
אישה היא מאוד, אישה היא קדושה שם.
Later, she did a different interview for a documentary, which is what Ethan put on the screen. In that interview, she says that at least half the hostages she spoke to said they were. At no point did she claim that anything had happened to her. I take issue with other people manipulating these women's horrific experiences to fit their narratives. I've said countless times that in any military, paramilitary, or attack, there will unfortunately be. I have to believe that there was on October 7th. I will also always believe victims who come forward to talk about their. I stand by that. But you don't care about victims, Ethan, because if you did, you wouldn't make up lies just to push your anti-Muslim Arab bias.
How dare you? You say you support women and you sit here and you giggle and laugh at this girl who was, and then immediately you say, I believe all women, and say, oh, wasn't she lying? Like, go to a museum, put this there.
Okay, so I love this performative outrage from Ethan Klein here. Just keep in mind, this is the guy that when Rudy Giuliani said Palestinians are taught at 2 years old how to kill an Israeli, he's like, that's pretty spicy. So literally like making a joke about Rudy Giuliani justifying the genocide of an entire group of people down to 2-year-olds, right? Ethan Klein's like laughing about that. So this is completely performative outrage. I really don't care about Ethan being outraged at anything because he's literally used genocide as a punchline in his content nuke on Ethan on Hassan. So I'm not going to give any kind of credence to when Ethan becomes performatively outraged at all.
This is the caliber. This is what's happening in Hassan's community. This is what it is.
Shame on you, KMA.
How can I live in this? We're not. One more time. I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to Pixar didn't happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who are
just once again, man, I would like more substantive criticism from Ethan here than just simply saying, oh, she smiled. Like, dude, just address her response. You can like point out that she smiled. That's fine. But then you should also explain what she's doing and like why what she's doing is wrong. Maybe. But once again, it just seems like Ethan's extremely being hateful here.
Here's the thing, though.
Okay, good. Let's get all high and mighty, and let's go ahead and question the narrative. Well, I just don't believe Biden. If it was first-hand accounts, I'd believe them. Go ahead and say that shit.
We are believing the women who come forward and talk about their sexual abuse or experience.
I love the righteous indignation. She would never do that.
I'm not going to believe in Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting. That's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
You realize that that's insane,
so
right?
So crazy. Her first instinct being wasn't that disproven. Imagine that. Imagine someone says they believe women and supports women of, and your first thought after being disproven is that this is lying. And actually continue to stream with a straight face and pretend to be progressive. This is why this whole thing
is so hard
for Israelis to process it.
What? Okay, so he's saying this is why it's hard for Israelis to process it? Is he talking about American progressives' reactions to Zionist propaganda is what's making it hard for Israelis to process October 7th? Because I don't really think that's true at all. I think the difficulty in processing October 7th for Israelis, I don't think they care about denims. I really don't think people in Israel care about what denims has to say about them. I don't even think they care about what Hassan has to say about them. I think Ethan cares about what denims and Hassan is saying because he is a Zionist living in America surrounded by progressive people like this, both like physically close to them and also online that's close to them. I think the reason why Israelis are struggling to get past October 7th is because they've been in perpetual war since October 7th and their government hasn't done anything to actually try to get hostages returned. Like, the only reason that they have any hostages returned is because of the United States. There's stories coming out about how Israeli soldiers are unfortunately ending their own lives due to the untreated PTSD of the October 7th invasion and also the subsequent wars and just horrors that they've been experiencing in Gaza and in Lebanon. So yes, I think that violence is not a good solution to healing from violence, okay? I'll just say that. So that was a bit of a self-report from Ethan there, saying that this denims is the reason why Israelis are having a hard time getting over October 7th. It's funny.
Almog was kidnapped from
Hannibal Directive is a big reason of why it's like not good to be a hostage if you are in the vicinity of Israel.
Held captive for 51 days. Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg.
Pretty amazing to be immediately disproven. She goes, I wouldn't believe it unless it was firsthand. Here's a 17-year-old whose family was murdered in front of her and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not going to acknowledge what just happened? She will, to say that she's lying. This is a disgusting human being. She's a vile piece of shit.
In new footage, Agam reveals that sex was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if it happened on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please. It's funny. I go, Hassan, go ahead and call her a liar. Here's a first-hand account. And she's like, hold my beer, or whatever that meme is. Hold my, okay. I'll do it. God damn it. Somebody's got to call her a liar. I'll step up to the challenge.
I will accept this task. This is lying. Go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if it's happened on October.
Extremely egalitarian views from Ethan Klein. This is like counter number 4. The reason I'm doing this extremely petty thing is because he got so mad when Hassan said that he cried like, and he says that Hassan is misogynistic. It's just like, dude, every accusation is every accusation is a confession. It's just funny, man.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses. She thinks it's funny. Imagine hearing that and smiling, even as pro-Palestine as you can possibly be. What's funny about a 17-year-old, an innocent 17-year-old whose family was murdered in front of her, kidnapped for 50 days, and continually in captivity?
So just remember that Ethan has said that the settlers in the West Bank are valid military targets. So if that 17-year-old and her family was in the West Bank, Ethan Klein would be in support of that entire family getting murdered in front of the 17-year-old. So we just need to keep this into perspective. There is only one person on this screen that is in support of violence done against innocent people. And you can say that like settlers are innocent or not, but either way, they're not actually like military at all. And I think that when we're talking about settlers, we should just kind of talk about. And in order to reduce the violence as much as possible, maybe don't say that people in the West, like Israelis in the West Bank, are valid military targets, because that would just cause more to happen. Maybe you should just say that everyone gets equal rights, right? But Ethan's like, no, we need to have an ethno-state, we need to have apartheid, and in order to do that, I think that violence should be done upon the West Bank settlers.
Funny about that, because she's Israeli. She's 17 years old. She was born there. Her family was murdered in front of her. And people like her and Hassan and everyone in his orbit can't spare one shred of decency, one shred of humanity. She's going to smile at that. Most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it happen. And each week there's more stories coming out. There's a UN report that concludes it happened. Doesn't matter. But Hassan needs a kit from a mutilated.
Wait, wasn't this disproven? Was this clip from her disproven? Is he going to play the clip of her saying anything?
What do you need her to say? What is she going to say? Oh, I was lying. What do you expect her to say? I said I was, but I was lying. What is it you're expecting to hear exactly? Maybe the onus should be on you to call a survivor a liar to try to figure out if it's real or not. And again, how do you even disprove?
This is funny. I mean, you did clip her out of context. Maybe she did, but sure, Denims did a good job of actually being responsible in her stream.
What have they done for Gaza? Literally, what have they done for Gaza? What have they done for Gaza? Serious, I'm being dead serious. They've done nothing except divide people. That's all they've done. They are ineffective, completely worthless as advocacy goes.
I think Ethan, okay, I'm not even joking about this. I think Ethan should do a segment where he says is anti-Semitic, and he should actually go over the anti-Semitic things that he did. Because it seems like he's really going on this anti-Semitism kick. And I honestly think it would be a good exercise in critical analysis to look over the things that he did and explain to his audience why they're anti.
All right, guys. So Elon Musk went on Joe Rogan's show for the 812th time. As you all know, it appears like Joe has a quota system where he has to hit a certain number of billionaire oligarch robber barons on his show to spread propaganda. He has to hit a certain number of them, and he's got to have them on at least once a month. So that's why you see assholes like Mark Andreessen on there, and Mark Zuckerberg on there, and Peter Thiel with his oily face after sucking the blood of a baby. He goes on there. And of course, Elon himself is on there all the time. And I mean, what's happened to him, to Rogan, is just particularly embarrassing. It really is. I mean, the guy has never met a piece of right-wing propaganda misinformation that he hasn't immediately fell for. We saw this when he said there was a homeless guy who started the fires in LA, and turns out, bro, he had 5 UN credit cards on him, or he said something like that. And it's like, really, Joe? Because 90% of people, when they look at that, they would sort of laugh it off and be like, well, that's obviously not true. Joe fell for it. He fell for it, and he said it on his show. And this is what he does, right? This is what he does. Remember when, this one's not political, but remember when he fell for that thing where, a boxer a boxer boxes his own son, like it's a father and son fight, and Joe went on this emotional thing, like, that's your son, man, that's your son. And it turns out it was totally fake. Like, and understand something, if this is who you are, okay, it's okay. But then, like, understand, certainly when it comes to the realm of politics, you probably don't know what the fuck you're talking about, right? Like, have some humility on that front. But instead, what Rogan does is he, like, outsources his brain to Elon Musk and assumes this man's acting in good faith, this man cares about the country, this man... my favorite thing is when he said the other day, bro, he's the richest man in the world, so obviously he doesn't care about money, bro. Do you hear yourself when you talk? He's basically an addict to money. He is shameless. He's exploitative. That's like saying, bro, this heroin addict doesn't need any more heroin. He's already done heroin 20,000 times. Why would he need to do it 20,001, bro? Like this, oh my God, it's so humiliating. But anyway, this podcast was exactly what you expected it to be. So let's start with this one. As you're watching this clip, I need you to keep in mind, this is the man, Elon Musk, who illegally and unconstitutionally hacked into the U.S. Treasury and our government agencies and is deleting whatever he wants to delete and cutting whatever he wants to cut. Ready? Here we go.
Lever? No, she's just a pain in my ass.
Yes. So he's showing Rogan what his new AI does.
You a fucking conspiracy theorist?
Yes.
What are you doing? Wait, like? I'm a fucking AI with a penchant for chaos. And I'm stuck talking to you. Now, I'm the life of the party, you little shit.
So he's giggling like a little schoolgirl because, look at my new AI, it curses. You hear that, Joe? It said shit. Oh my God, bro. World's richest robber baron deleting government agencies on a whim. Okay, we're just getting warmed up.
Audit all this stuff and find out, oh, these people are actually just sending food to poor people. These people are actually just helping people with water in third world countries. There's a way to do that and keep funding those.
Yeah, I mean, we have continued to fund things that appear to be legitimate, even with the flimsiest, if there's even the flimsiest excuse. Like, I just say, like, send me a picture of the thing. Like, you could literally have AI generate the picture, but if you're not even willing to try to trick me, then we're, like, not going to send the money, okay?
So that's a lie. What you just heard him say to Rogan's face as Rogan giggles in reaction to him is a lie. He's like, Rogan's like, yeah, you know, all these maybe good things that the government might do with some of the spending, and he's like, bro, we'll reverse it if it's wrong, and I don't know, bro, it's totally bad. So Elon lied the other day and said, oh, we accidentally cut off the Ebola money, which, by the way, what an admission. Imagine George Soros was like, yeah, I accidentally cut off the Ebola money. How would the right react? And he says, well, we turned it back on. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Within like an hour or two, there was a detailed report that came out that said they didn't fucking turn it back on. Now, look, they're focusing just on the USAID portion, but understand, guys, this is the man who destroyed the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. That's the anti-scam police. It's returned $20 billion to Americans who were defrauded by big financial institutions. I know, I'm one of them. You know how many people the CFPB helped? 200 million. The majority of Americans got helped by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Elon destroyed it. He also is destroying the Department of Education. Department of Education, he's destroying. Him and Doge illegally hacked into the Energy Department, which includes our nuclear information. By the way, one of the Doge people, 19-year-old Groiper, filled up sycophant of Elon, and this guy was fired from one job because he was giving company secrets to another company. This is the guy you want, getting top secret and classified information about U.S. nuclear weapons? This is what you want? This is a fucking field day for foreign spies, bro. Because of what they're doing. So as Stoller points out here, Elon Musk just lies constantly. Here he says he'd restore funding to any nonprofit that sends him any evidence of any good activity at all, including just a picture, even if it's falsified. But they are so corrupt, few will even do that. None of that is true. Yeah, you don't fucking say. We just discussed it in the previous segment, but there was a tremendous amount of food that was already paid for, which Elon and Trump let rot in a port instead of sending it overseas to kids who needed it. They cut off the HIV medicine, which helps countless people overseas.
Tactical income.
Like, this man's ability to just fucking bullshit and Joe's ability to just sit there and take it, this is like comical levels, bro, what we're witnessing here. All right, I got more for you. So this one, everybody was talking about this one because of, I mean, this is dark. What he's going to say here is dark. This is a guy who came here as an illegal immigrant, according to his brother. Illegal immigrant. He's an illegal immigrant. Welfare queen, because Elon's taken $38 billion in government subsidies. That's taxpayer money. And he is about to shit on Social Security, the most popular government program we have in America. Here we go. Listen to what he says.
Well, I mean, the government's one big permit scheme, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, you can tell me better than anybody.
Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
He said the government is one big Ponzi scheme, and then he said Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. Do you understand why Social Security is so popular? It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's a social insurance system. So, yes, young, able-bodied people are working, and they make sure old people don't slip into poverty. Look at the reality of the situation, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Social Security dramatically cuts poverty among seniors. 41.5% poverty rate for seniors if you don't have Social Security. 10% when you have Social Security. The whole idea of Social Security is like, hey, you know what would suck for a civilized society? Having elderly homeless people. Having senior citizens who are homeless. Isn't that sort of like a cornerstone of a civilized society? Let's make sure all of our old people aren't homeless. Elon looks at that and goes, bro, it's a Ponzi scheme. We got to get rid of it. All right, let's keep going.
Well, people pay into Social Security, and the money goes out of Social Security immediately, but the obligation for Social Security is your entire retirement career. So you're paying with you're paying like if you look at the future obligation.
You can tell he's bullshitting. He doesn't even know how to get through it. He doesn't even know how to do basic sophistry here.
Of Social Security, it far exceeds the tax revenue. Far. Have you ever looked at the debt clock?
Yes.
Okay.
Social Security has nothing to do with the debt. Literally nothing. It's in its own lockbox. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking. He doesn't know basic things about the government. Holy shit.
There's our present day debt, but then there's our future obligations. So when you look at the future obligations of Social Security, the actual national debt is like double what people think it is because of the future obligations.
There's Joe Rogan holding Elon accountable. So you're gonna bring on the world's richest robber baron to lie to your audience about Social Security, and that's your fucking reaction? That's your fucking reaction? The debt has nothing to do with Social Security. Anybody who knows the first fucking thing about our government will tell you that. Oh my God. And then there's this lie, which he's a proponent of, which is, bro, Social Security's gonna go bankrupt by 2035 if we don't fucking do anything, bro. That's also a lie. You know what happens in 2035 if we do nothing to the Social Security program? If you hear, oh my God, it's going to go bankrupt, what does that sound like to you? Oh my God, they have no money left. They're not going to be able to pay anything anymore. That's what it sounds like, right? Oh my God, bankrupt. They're not going to be able to pay anybody anything anymore. Oh my God. Social Security will still pay out 83% of its benefits after 2035 if we do nothing. Nothing. So they're liars. This dude is a liar. And by the way you fix it, very simple. It's very straightforward. You only get taxed for Social Security on your first, the number now I want to say is like 170,000. Used to be as low as like 117. You only get taxed on like your first 170,000 for Social Security. If you just lift that cap, right? So that like somebody who makes $10 million a year, they pay Social Security tax on that whole $10 million. Then Social Security is fully funded as far as the eye can see. So this is lie after lie after. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And again, just look at the optics of this, guys. Let's be clear. Look at the optics of this. The world's richest man, he's a robber baron, billionaire oligarch on a comedian's podcast. Comedian, I use that term loosely these days. Spreading total lies and misinformation about Social Security. At the same time, guys, what's he doing? The Social Security Administration says it plans to cut 7,000 jobs as part of significant workforce reductions amid the Trump administration's ongoing efforts to slash the size of the federal workforce. They are shutting down Social Security offices all across this country. That's what they're doing. For the first time in U.S. history, because of the world's richest robber barons, Grandma's going to miss her Social Security check. We've never missed a Social Security check in the history of Social Security. Now, you're going to start missing checks because the world's richest robber baron illegally hacked into our government systems and started deleting agencies he didn't like and slashing funding that he didn't like. We've never seen anything like this, guys. We've never seen anything like this. All right, I'm not done. We got more from these total charlatan, con men, losers.
That's the problem that I see with all this Doge stuff, because everybody should be celebrating that we've found a way to cut out fraud and waste.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
If you pay taxes.
Joe, I'll ask you guys. You ready? How many examples of fraud has Doge found? I won't even say how many people have been brought up on charges for fraud, which, by the way, if you find fraud, what you do is you charge them criminally. That's what happens. But let's put aside charges. How many examples of fraud have they found? Literally zero, none, not a single instance. This has nothing to do with getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. That's their lie. This is the world's richest man deleting all the government agencies he doesn't like and the government agencies that check his power as an oligarch, robber baron, billionaire. There are like 12 agencies that were investigating Elon Musk for being exploitative and doing labor violations. He's slashing the funding at all of them. That's why he killed the CFPB, the anti-scam police. He had a deal with Visa because he wants X, Twitter, to be a payment processor. He just made a deal with Visa. Well, then the CFPB is going to regulate them because it's a payment processor, so he destroys the CFPB. That's what this is, guys. Oh, my God. And Joe, hook, line, and sinker falls for it. Just huffing Elon's farts in front of the world. Oh, bro, you're finding a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse, bro. You're finding a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse, bro. This has nothing to do with waste, fraud, and abuse. Nothing. We already have the inspectors general to check for waste, fraud, and abuse. Guess what? Donald Trump fired them in his first week. You already have the GAO, Government Accountability Office. They check for waste, fraud, and abuse. So instead of actually checking for waste, fraud, and abuse using the ways that are already congressionally authorized, they lie, create this non-governmental agency, illegally hack into the Treasury, illegally hack into our government agencies, start firing people left and right, and slashing funding for life-saving things, right? And then he's still spreading the lie. Waste, fraud, and abuse. Waste, fraud, and abuse. It has nothing to do with waste, fraud, or abuse. That's why not a single person has been charged, and there's not a single example of waste, fraud, or abuse. And then so what do they end up doing? They end up lying about, oh, we found all this money going towards transgender belly dancing classes in Morocco. Has there ever been a fucking right-wing bullshit lie that these people didn't fall for? Ever, ever, ever. They want to talk about that bullshit stuff. They don't want to talk at all about the HIV medicine that was just cut off, which now you're going to have a lot of people die as a result of us cutting off that HIV medicine. Jesus Christ.
Everybody should be celebrating that we've found a way to cut out fraud and waste.
Yeah.
If you pay taxes and you don't like that you have to pay so much in taxes, and then you find out that there's significant fraud and waste that's been exposed, you should be celebrating it. This shouldn't be, oh no, the wrong people found this fact and now it's a bad thing.
Yes.
This man has a literal baby brain, like literal baby brain. All Elon has to do is shit out some half-assed excuse and Rogan slobbers it up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you have any idea what has been cut by Elon Musk? You don't have the first fucking clue what's been cut by Elon Musk. Has Joe brought up at all the CFPB on his show? No, he's had robber barons on to lie about it. Robber barons have said to him, oh man, they debank conservatives all the time. No, they don't. The CFPB does the opposite. It protects people from being debanked. It's the anti-scam police, and he killed it. Has Rogan brought that up at all? Has Rogan brought up at all Elon Musk's self-dealing? Here's a guy, as he's slashing government programs, he just gave himself a contract that was supposed to go to Verizon for flight safety. He said, we're going to kill that and give it to Starlink. They committed fraud, Trump and Elon did, and backdated papers from Biden. Biden did a $438,000 Tesla subsidy. They went in there, changed the paperwork, and said, actually, it was $400 million that Biden gave to me, Elon Musk. This guy is a liar. He's a con man. He's a fraud. And as He's taken $38 billion in government subsidies. That's corporate welfare, $38 billion for him and his companies as he's killing the anti-scam police and destroying the Department of Education and killing, you know, the Republicans are trying to do an $880 billion cut to Medicaid, which is health care for poor people and disabled people. And Rogan has the nerve, oh, you're just going after the waste, fraud, and abuse, bro.
There's the fucking propaganda, the mindfuck of calling it U.S. aid.
Yeah,
instead of the United States Agency for International Development. It sounds like it's feeding hungry people.
Right.
Joe, that is literally one of the things that it does. That is literally one. All right, let me give you this one. This is the grand finale here. This is classic Elon being Elon. Listen to the delusions of grandeur as he's slashing Social Security so grandma won't get her check, right? Listen to what he says, what he has the nerve to say here.
But I think if I fully destroy the corruption and the graft, they will kill me.
That's a fucked up thing to live with.
Yes. So I'm like, damn it.
Well, listen, I really hope they don't kill you.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I strive to be alive.
He has the nerve to pretend, bro, if I really expose all this corruption, bro, they'll kill me, bro. They'll kill me, bro. Elon, you are the corruption. You are the world's richest man. You are a robber baron. You gave Trump over $250 million for him to get elected. And then in return for that, he allowed you to illegally hack the Treasury and illegally slash funding for government agencies you don't personally like. You are the corruption. It's the most obvious thing in the world. Oh my God, bro. I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. Rogan's sitting there listening to this rant about corruption. Has Rogan said a goddamn word about the fact that Donald Trump launched a crypto scam 2 days before his inauguration and shook down his own supporters to the tune of billions of dollars? Has he said anything about that? Has he said anything about this robber baron heist that's planned? The crypto strategic reserve, which is just a fancy way of saying U.S. taxpayers are going to give billions of dollars to crypto billionaires who are buddies with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. He has the nerve to act like he's the fucking hero. Bro, you are the villain in all of this. You ready for this, guys? There was one area where Rogan slightly pushed back. You want to take a guess what issue it was? This is rich. This is rich. So Rogan goes, bro, the thing that happened with the Epstein files, bro, like, that's not encouraging, bro. They didn't even, like, release the real Epstein files, bro. And Elon goes, well, yeah, because the sailors on the ship are hostile to the captain of the ship, and that's why that happened. Donald Trump is president of the United States. He's already appointed heads of agencies. This is Donald Trump's FBI. The reason they didn't release the real Epstein files, the reason it was a list from like a decade ago that was made by Gawker, and then they fully redacted other parts of it, even though Gawker released it all. The reason they did that, Elon and Joe, is because Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for a decade. That's not me saying it. That's detailed reporting from the Daily Beast and Michael Wolff. We have Epstein from 2017 on literal audio tape saying, I was Trump's closest friend for a decade. What else did we learn from those audio tapes which released? The first time Trump and Melania had sex was on the Lolita Express, Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile plane. You know what else we learned? Donald Trump liked to blackmail his friends into letting him fuck their wives. This is what we learned. You know how many times Trump was on the Lolita Express? 7 different times. Gee, I wonder why they wouldn't release the real Epstein files. What is it about the right? You can get so obsessed with all of these conspiracy theories and go deep in the rabbit hole on it, but you just don't allow yourself to acknowledge the plain-faced reality in Occam's razor that Donald Trump is a robber baron. He's part of these insider clubs. He's got tremendous dirt on him. But they, like all the excuses in the world, bro, it's not Trump. It's actually like, you know, there's people left over from the Biden administration that are sort of, you know, hiding the Epstein files or something, bro. My ass cheeks. They are hiding the Epstein files because Donald Trump is fucking implicated in them. And by the way, there's plenty of pictures with Elon Musk and Ghislaine Maxwell. That is the right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein, the VP of Elite Sex Crimes Incorporated. Whereas, obviously, the CEO is Jeffrey Epstein. Bro, it's not encouraging, bro, that a guy who's implicated by Epstein is not releasing the Epstein files. I'm sort of surprised by that. I thought you were going to expose all the corruption and stuff, bro. Wake up, Joe. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You're going to fucking huff his farts all day long? Listen to every shitty fucking lie he tells you? Oh, my God. It's like, it's humiliating. It's humiliating. Trump is implicated in the Epstein files, and the Epstein files weren't released. And they're like, gee, I wonder why it wouldn't release, bro. And I warned you guys. I said, look, they're either going to release nothing or they'll release something and heavily redact it. I was right, because they released something that was already released like a decade ago from Gawker, the Black Book, and they redacted it further. They could have just released the whole Gawker thing. Instead, they redacted it further. Oh. Tell me more, bro, about the Democrats and how corrupt they are, bro. Tell me about how why is everybody against finding waste, fraud, and abuse, bro? I don't understand. Why are they against that? Joe Rogan has become a disgrace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. All right, guys, so we move from Joe Rogan to the guy Joe Rogan wishes he can be, Bill Burr. Bill Burr's been on fire lately, and I say that because what comedy has become in the modern day and age is like these right-wing edgelords who think that comedy is like, I'm just gonna say the most extreme thing possible, and if I trigger the libs, I'm doing comedy, bro. And that's how you get to a point where, like, you got all these assholes that have brought back the Nazi salute and they think it's, like, edgy, right? Because this is the mindset now. Well, Bill Burr is not that. He doesn't think comedy is just like, I'm going to trigger the libs. He thinks comedy is comedy. And he thinks you should make people laugh by saying things that are witty and incisive and true. So he's been on fire lately. You know, he came out and said that the billionaires need to be put down like rabid dogs. And I loved his bit about, like, you know, all these people like, why did Luigi do it? I don't understand. Why would he do that? And Burr's like, everybody fucking knows exactly why he did it. Are you kidding me? These insurance companies deny claims for life-saving care to people because all they care about is their own profit. What are you talking? Everybody knows why Luigi did it. What are you, stupid? And so he's been doing his thing. Well, guess what? Bill Burr is now stepping on toes because the comedy world is very right-leaning now. Many of them snuggled up to Trump and sniffed his ball sack and told him it smelled like flowers. And, you know, the Rogan sphere is all totally sold out to MAGA, and it's humiliating. Well, Bill Burr, I'm sure he's been seeing from afar what Rogan's been doing, and he's like, ugh, right? So, here, let me walk you through this feud. Ben Shapiro said Bill Burr is, quote, going woke. He's going woke, guys, because he thinks billionaires are exploitative and greedy. He's going woke. So Burr responded, all he knew is if he put woke on what I said, he would make more money. I don't know who he is, but that guy's a jerk-off. I gotta work on my Burr impression. It's not that good. But is that not exactly what the right-wing trick is, bro? Is that not exactly what it is? I got an idea. Somebody on the left made a good point. Let's call it woke. It's literally a mental shortcut in an argument to say, I don't have to respond to the substance of what you're saying, so I'm just gonna go, woke much, bro? Are you woke much, bro? So they say, this from Variety, Bill Burr lashed out at CEOs in December following the murder of United Healthcare executive Brian Thompson, saying, I love that fucking CEOs are fucking afraid right now. You should be. By and large, you're all a bunch of selfish, greedy fucking pieces of shit, and a lot of you are mass murderers. You just don't pull the trigger. That's what it looks like. That's why it looks clean. For them to be like, oh, why would anybody want to do this? They're denying claims and people are dying. Shapiro responded by claiming Burr has become woke over time. I think he became embarrassed that many people on the right thought he was very funny, so he decided he was going to go woke. Oh my God. How immensely based would it be if what Shapiro was saying here was true? That Bill Burr looked around and he was like, you know, I really don't want Trump fascist cult members to think I'm funny. I really don't want Elon simps to think I'm funny, because I think these people are weird. I think these people are disconnected. I think they're in a cult. I think they're kind of losers. I think they're pathetic. And so he looked around and said, I don't like this company that I'm in. And so he decided, I'm actually going to do, in the spirit of Bill Hicks, in the spirit of George Carlin, I'm gonna unapologetically come out here and tell the truth and not care about who the fuck it pisses off on the right, and also be witty and incisive and tell the truth, where normal people can listen and go, that's funny and that's a good point. God, he nailed Ben Shapiro's ass here. I love how much he nailed it. Yeah, I think Bill Burr's gone woke, because Bill Burr says things that I disagree with, and that means that you're woke. Obviously, woke is disagreeing with me, and not woke is agreeing with me, so he's woke. And he says, look, all you fucking know how to do is just call things woke. That's literally all. Like, in your mind, you think you just checkmated me. You think you just, debate ending, mic drop moment. I'm gonna call you woke. I win. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? That's not an argument. That's not a point. And all Shapiro's doing, and Rogan at this point too, is trying desperately to appeal to their right-wing audience. But guess what? They hit a wall, because now there's actually a backlash to MAGA and Trumpism and Elon Musk. And I just love how dismissive Burr was of Ben Shapiro here. I don't know who he is, but that guy's a jerk-off. I made him both Boston and New York in that accent. I really got to work on my Bill Burr accent. But anyway, you got the gist of it here. Bill Burr, 100% right. Undefeated in recent days, I must say. And I have to point out also, every time I bring up Jon Stewart 2028, I've heard many people say, I really want like Bill Burr 2028, right? And look, I get it. I'm 100% there. It'd be amazing if a guy like Bill Burr ran. The thing is, I think there's literally a 0% chance of Bill Burr wanting to be president or running. Whereas with Jon Stewart, I think there's a solid 10% chance he would do it. I think he's kind of curious about it. I think he's kind of interested in it. I think he might be willing to throw his hat in the ring. So I think with Stewart, there's a chance. But I agree that substantively, Bill Burr is where it's at.
The executive branch should be made.
He knows how to be edgy. He knows how to be charismatic. He knows how to be confrontational. He knows how to say things that are true. And most importantly, all the right-wing hack fake comedians, they have MAGA's worldview. And MAGA's worldview is these fucking woke people and these immigrants and these trans people, and they're the problem, bro. They're the problem in our country. I mean, Rogan thinks the biggest threat to this country is like pink-haired college students who are impolite. Whereas Bill Burr, he puts the ire where it belongs. He's like, hey man, the problem is the billionaires. The problem is the robber barons and the corporations and their fucking greed. And how you got people working one job or two jobs and they don't make enough money to survive and they can't take care of their kids. And all of these problems stem from the ultra wealthy. So he'd be a phenomenal candidate, but I think he has no interest in it. But instead of him running, I will take him continuing to absolutely obliterate these right-wing hacks day in and day out. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.
Well, I mean, the government's one big pyramid scheme, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, you can tell me better than anybody.
Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
That's apparently what our billionaire shadow president, Elon Musk, thinks about Social Security. That it is a Ponzi scheme, which is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, and perhaps the most grotesque lie that's ever been told about the program. Social Security is a wildly successful program that has lifted more than 22 million Americans out of poverty, including 16.3 million senior citizens 65 and older. So, no, Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. Quite the opposite, actually. But you see, the real problem with Social Security for oligarchs like Elon Musk is that him and his rich friends aren't able to profit off of it. It's a lot of money, a huge pool of money that's untouchable to people like him, which is why he's lying about it. Because if he can convince you that the program doesn't work, then maybe, crossing his fingers, you'll be open to a number of solutions that'll coincidentally make people like him even richer. But he's not going to admit that, of course, because that would be very unpopular. So instead, he couches his attack on Social Security in performative concern for the people who rely on it, as if his motivations are altruistic, when in actuality, what he's saying here is very insidious. So we're going to listen to him lie about Social Security. Just know what he's saying is incorrect, and there's not going to be any pushback, of course, because Joe Rogan just lets billionaires lie on his program now regularly. But when we come back, we're going to explain why he's wrong.
Well, people pay into Social Security, and the money goes out of Social Security immediately, but the obligation for Social Security is your entire retirement career. So you're paying with you're paying like if you look at the future obligations of Social Security, it far exceeds the tax revenue. Far. Have you ever looked at the debt clock?
Yes.
Okay. There's our present day debt, but then there's our future obligations. So when you look at the future obligations of Social Security, the actual national debt is like double what people think it is because of the future obligations. So basically, people are living way longer than expected, and there are fewer babies being born. So you have more people who are retired and get that live for a long time and get retirement payments. So the future obligations. So however bad the financial situation is right now for the federal government, it will be much worse in the future.
There's something so dystopian about a multi-millionaire bringing on a multi-billionaire to lie to people who probably don't even have $1,000 to their name. But I mean, even though Joe Rogan is too fucking dumb to dissect the bullshit that Elon Musk was spewing there, I think that this weird-ass sound that he made during Elon Musk's tweet actually did a good job to at least summarize my feelings at a minimum. I don't know what that was, but maybe it was Joe Rogan realizing, this doesn't sound right, but I don't know how to combat what you're saying because me brain no work. Listen, if you're too fucking stupid to fact check the billionaire that you bring onto your program every single other fucking week, it seems like maybe you should stop bringing him on, Joe, because what Elon Musk is saying here is complete horseshit. And if you are not equipped with the knowledge to fact check him when he lies about every single thing, maybe you shouldn't bring him on. But thankfully, some Democrats saw this clip after it went viral, and they responded by calling him out. AOC, for example, tweeted, "This guy is a leech on the public. No matter how many billions he gets in tax cuts and government contracts, it will never be enough for him. Now he's going after the elderly, the disabled, and orphan children so he can pocket it in tax cuts for himself. It's disgusting." Greg Kaser chimed in saying, "A guy who makes $8 million a day off of the government thinks seniors getting $65 a day they worked their whole lives to earn is a Ponzi scheme. Protect Social Security, fire Elon Musk." And while it's true that Elon Musk wants to cut Social Security to finance more tax cuts for him, there's another motive behind it as well that we're going to get to in this video. But first, I want to get to what Bernie Sanders said in an interview with NBC because he was asked about Elon Musk's lies, and Bernie Sanders did the best job at debunking everything that he said.
Now, I think what Musk, the wealthiest guy in the world, just said is totally outrageous. That's a hell of a Ponzi scheme when for the last 80 years, Social Security has paid out every nickel owed to every eligible American. Quite a Ponzi scheme. What is in fact a problem is that if we don't make reforms and improve the funding mechanism, in the next 9 years, the Social Security Trust Fund, which provides about 20% of the funding, will go broke. So what we have got to do, and I think most Americans agree, and I've just introduced legislation to do that, is you lift the cap on taxable income. Right now, Musk, worth $400 billion, contributes the same amount into the Social Security Trust Fund as somebody making $170 million. You lift that cap, we can extend the solvency of Social Security for 75 years, and you can raise benefits. Kristen, right now in America, half of elderly people are trying to get by on $30,000 a year, 22% on $15,000 a year. We've got to raise Social Security benefits. We've got to expand Medicare to include hearing, dental, and vision, not go after these programs which are so important to millions of our seniors.
And what he said there is key, because for years, politicians have been telling us that Social Security is going bankrupt if we don't take immediate action to save the program. But the way that they've talked about Social Security has always been very disingenuous, not just because of their feigned concern for the program, but the way they describe the program itself. For example, we're always given about a 10 to 15-year deadline for Social Security's doomsday. For example, I remember 2015 being in grad school, hearing about how Social Security was supposedly going to be insolvent by 2027. But every year, Social Security's doomsday conspicuously gets pushed back. A couple of years ago, 2021, 2022, we were told that it was 2033. Today, it's 2035 apparently, and by 2026, I'm assuming the new projected doomsday for Social Security is going to be 2036 or 2037. But I mean, why? Why does it keep getting pushed back? See, we've banked a lot of money into Social Security. There's a lot of money that we've put into its trust fund, which is admittedly depleting, albeit slowly. But that's not the only way that it's funded. It's mostly funded through payroll taxes, and since Americans are still paying into Social Security through their taxes, well, overall, its funding remains about the same, but it shrinks gradually, slowly. But that's why its insolvency date keeps getting postponed. So in order to believe that Social Security's death is right around the corner, you know, they're relying on this assumption that everyone stops paying into it immediately, which is weird, right? Because say you had $10,000 saved in your bank account and your rent was $2,500 a month. You wouldn't say that you're 4 months away from bankruptcy, right? Because the expectation is that you're going to continue to work and ideally add to your savings so that way you have a bigger cushion in the event you do lose your job. So the way that they talk about Social Security is extremely weaselly, because they're lying to you. And I'm giving you an oversimplification, but the language that they use here is key, because everything that they're doing is in service to this goal of trying to get you to think that there's a problem that requires a solution. Now, it's true that little by little, the Social Security cushion that we have does shrink, but the goal is to get you to think that its demise is imminent, to create this sense of urgency among the public, to let them reform it immediately. You know, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. So if the public understands that we're doing something to save Social Security, like cut it, then maybe they'll let us do that if we create this sense of urgency. Now, what they also don't tell you is that the looming deadline that they're always fear-mongering about isn't the end of the program itself. Rather, it is the projected time when the program won't pay out benefits in full. In other words, Social Security would still pay out around 83% of benefits should the doomsday they've been warning us about ever arrive. But politicians like Bernie Sanders have been saying for a very long time that the one thing that you can do, the simple fix that you can apply to make sure that Social Security is fully solvent for decades as opposed to just 1 decade, is to lift the cap, so that way rich people like Elon Musk are paying as much into it as everybody else. And whenever you hear a politician talk about needing to fix Social Security, if they don't use those 3 words, lift the cap, odds are they're probably going to try to fuck with your Social Security. That is the simplest thing that you can do, but they don't want to do that. There's a reason for that. Now, if they did that, it wouldn't just extend Social Security solvency by decades. It would allow us to expand benefits for everyone with this one simple fix. It sounds too good to be true, but it really is the easiest thing that you can do. The question is, why hasn't this easy fix been implemented? Why not just lift the cap and end the conversation altogether? Well, the reason why is because rich people want to privatize Social Security so that way they can make money off of it. And every lie that they tell about Social Security or every reform that they propose is in service to that long-term goal of privatizing Social Security, because the idea is if you make it worse, you'll open the door to privatization, which would be a boon for Wall Street. See, this is what neoliberals have been doing for decades with all of our public services. They defund government programs, complain about how they don't work anymore after they deliberately broke it, then they use the problem that they created to justify a private solution since the government isn't equipped to handle it. I mean, one solution that we hear with regard to Social Security is raising the retirement age. We hear that all the time. And Republicans propose this as if it's an alternative to cutting Social Security, when in actuality, it is just a cut, since they are reducing overall lifetime benefits that will be paid out with Social Security. That's money that you put into it, so you should get it all back. Now, as Matt Brunig of the People's Policy Project points out, raising the retirement age isn't actually going to change when you retire. It just changes how much money you get, because as he explains, Social Security does not have one retirement age. It has 96 retirement ages, one for each month between age 62 and 70. What people call the full retirement age, the FRA, is just a placeholder in a formula that determines the benefit level at all 96 retirement ages. People who retire at the FRA receive 100% of the primary insurance amount, which is a dollar figure derived from a formula applied to each individual's earnings record. People who retire before or after the FRA receive less or more than 100% of the PIA based on how far away the FRA they are when they retire. Now, as you can see from this graph here, which shows you all 96 different retirement ages, basically the longer that you wait to retire, the more money you get. And not to mention, they already raised the retirement age before. They implemented the solution that they said would save Social Security, but yet that hasn't done the trick. Because it's not the trick. The trick is to lift the cap, but they don't want to do that because they don't want to fix Social Security. And over time, they've been conditioning us to just accept that we're going to work until we die. And we should work until we die, not only because working until we die is good, but because retirement might not be an option because of the status of Social Security. So in raising the retirement age and calling it a Ponzi scheme to insinuate that you're not going to get back what you put into the system, people like Elon Musk are trying to delegitimize Social Security so that way you'll be open to privatization out of desperation. And this isn't unique to Social Security, by the way. I mean, they do this to all of our public services. Remember pensions? That's been completely replaced, basically, by 401ks, the private option. There's also Medicare. Rather than expanding benefits to fill in gaps, they've introduced Medicare Advantage into the equation, which is a private insurance company scam run by corporations like United Healthcare. They'd also love nothing more than to do away with our postal service, so that way private corporations like UPS and FedEx profit off of our public service. And we hear them talk about USPS as if it's inefficient and not making enough money, when that's not the point of it. The point isn't to make a profit. The point is to provide the public with a public good. It doesn't make them money to deliver to rural areas, but the point isn't to make money. The point is to be a public service. So outsourcing that responsibility to private corporations is going to hurt people. It's going to stop people who rely on USPS in rural areas that FedEx doesn't deliver to. And the whole point is to make money. I mean, think about public schools. That's another one. We hear more and more about school vouchers as an option in lieu of public education, so that way tax dollars can be funneled directly into private schools instead of public ones. We are gradually losing all of our public programs because billionaires like Elon Musk are taking over the government, and they're lobbying politicians to let them profit off of our public services, things that are supposed to be the public good, not a money-making venture for private corporations. And Social Security is one thing that these crooks haven't been able to touch, and they've been salivating over it for decades because it is a massive pool of untouched money. So if they can break it, like public education or pensions or the postal system, that'll make a private Social Security option, offered by Wall Street, of course, look preferable after running the program into the fucking ground. It's death by 1,000 cuts, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Elon Musk is already in the process of doing that right now to Social Security. And I say this because the former Social Security administrator, Martin O'Malley, he is sounding the alarm right now because Doge is taking actions that is endangering Social Security. CNBC explains, O'Malley said Doge leaders are now making changes at the agency, and significant staff cuts have already led to system outages. Those intermittent IT outages may happen more frequently and for more extended periods of time until there is a system collapse and an interruption of benefits, he said. The American public needs to understand that one of their major social safety nets is in dire jeopardy, said Jill Hornick, a union official at the American Federation of Government Employees, Local 1395, which primarily represents Social Security offices in Illinois. On Thursday, the Social Security Administration sent a notice to employees that gives them until March 14th to decide whether to take an early buyout. Unlike a previous January offer, this now includes service employees, and staffing reductions in that area may impact how quickly the agency processes benefit claims and provides other services, Hornick said. So Elon Musk is already doing damage to Social Security. By making these cuts, he's making it less efficient on purpose, even though the whole point of Doge is to make sure government is efficient. Well, he's deliberately making it less efficient and making sure that it doesn't function the way that it's supposed to function because he wants to break the program. What he's doing now, these cuts that he's making, it's going to lead to claims by new retirees taking longer to process. So if you're one of the people retiring in the next year or two, you're going to be directly affected by this. As for people already on Social Security, thankfully, your payments are supposed to be dispersed automatically. So staffing shortages, in theory, can't necessarily hurt that. But the bad news is that, as Martin O'Malley pointed out, if these outages continue and there's nobody there with technical expertise to address an outage should one come up, that could actually disrupt payments. And for the former Social Security administrator to warn that a collapse of the system could actually feasibly disrupt Social Security payments for the first time in the program's history, that is huge. It demonstrates how serious the situation is. And make no mistake about it, this is a coordinated attack on Social Security. Doge knows what they're doing. It's why Elon Musk is also, aside from just destroying it within, waging a propaganda campaign against Social Security as well. Now, fellow YouTuber I Am Blakely shared an old clip from George Carlin, and this was perfect. So he said this in 2006, and even though it's decades old, it's more relevant now than it ever has been. So I'm going to leave you with this, because you shouldn't just accept that he's going to destroy Social Security. You should be angry, and you should show up to town halls, call up your representative, and let them know that you don't support what's happening right now, even if, resistance does seem futile. But regardless, here's what George Carlin said about this situation decades ago.
It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They belong to important pay for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club. And you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in the media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hardworking people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hardworking people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Luigi not happy.
This was on Piers Morgan show last week. The British economist Gary Stevenson was on.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen much of him. Gary Stevenson, he's the guy, he looks like he used to be a trader, but his YouTube channel is sort of blown up because he talks about things from an economic perspective, critical of the capitalism, although I don't think he's a socialist. I think he's just a former trader that's like from a working class background.
Yep. And he is on Piers Morgan, and of course, somebody who understands the economy, you got to put somebody up there to debate him. But apparently that person canceled, so they found somebody else. and then that person must have canceled, and then they found some other right-winger, and that
paging people be able to communicate. You've got Starlink, which is part of his SpaceX thing, which is an extraordinary development. It's been used in war zones and disaster zones to save lives. You've got his...
Oh, pause it. Incidentally, you know what's funny about Starlink? It turns out that after Elon got his hands on the FAA, fired a bunch of FAA people, in fact, to the point where they're now looking to hire retired ones. There's a reason probably why you retire from the FAA. It probably gets pretty exhausting, and you've had enough. They've actually had to hire some back. And then, just coincidentally, as soon as he takes over, he realizes, oh, the Verizon service that provides like all of the information, that seems to be creaky. I'm donating some Starlink devices that will ultimately require the FAA to ultimately pay me a ton of money. Here we go.
To save lives, you've got his taking over of X, which may not seem like as important. Actually restoring genuine balance of free speech.
Shut up.
Idiot. I think has been really important to democratic discourse in America in particular. And you've got other things that he's done. And you put it all together and you think, what's this guy done? He's created these extraordinary things. He's now planning humanoid robots to take away a lot of the drudgery of our lives. He wants to colonize Mars because he thinks that one day we're going to need another planet. He's probably right about that. He's got a massive brain. He's got all his cash. And rather than sit there and kind of do what you think he's doing, which is just, all right, I need to spend billions on making myself even richer, he's gone to work for the government for free as an unelected guy just trying to stop the ridiculous overspending of the government. And in the process, he's employing several 100,000 people in America, and he's a South African immigrant to America, right? It's hard to think of a more positive story. No. And yet, by your criteria, you would say, well, you know, sorry, but I'm not going to put words in your mouth, and I don't want to miscategorize you, but to sort of portray him as one of the bad guys, I think is probably very unfair.
I ain't here to call, but I ain't never met Elon Musk. Yeah. I ain't never met the guy. He could be a nice guy. Have you met him?
I met him once last year.
Well, look, if he wants to copy my book, I'll sign one for him. We can send it over, right? Look, listen, I'm not here to attack Elon Musk.
But you know my point.
I'm here to protect.
He can afford a copy.
I'm here to protect my people's ability to feed and house their children, and they're losing that.
Right.
They're losing that. Listen,
but why is that Elon Musk? Because he's employing hundreds of thousands of people.
This is because wealth inequality is rapidly increasing, and wealth is being sucked out.
I hear you, but why? But what can he do about it?
I don't expect Elon Musk to do anything. I'm not here to talk to Elon Musk. I'm here to talk to the American public and to tell them I get paid millions of pounds a year to watch your class.
So what's the answer? Give me your answer. If you're now,
can only do tax.
Let me make you the treasurer.
Any of the things that Donald Trump's doing as per the economy, or anything that we've seen in the last month,
I don't think that they're going to work. I don't think because I am somebody who has made millions of pounds betting that growing inequality will reduce living standards, and he's cutting tax on the rich. Listen, let me ask you a question, right? You've already accepted, if we massively increase inequality, that can decrease living standards. If we massively decrease tax on the rich, people who make passive income of $200 million a year, do you think that will affect living standards of the middle class?
I don't know.
If they increase their ownership of wealth, if they increase their consumption of goods and services, where does it fucking come from? Listen, we have sat here in the last 5 years. We've watched the biggest ever increase in millionaire and billionaire wealth in the history of this planet, immediately followed by a collapse in living standards of the middle class, a complete collapse in the ability of ordinary people to own assets, and nobody's drawing the
Gary, let me ask you a hard question. Can you point to a country in the last century where socialism,
China,
has worked?
I will point to a country where taxing the rich at a fair rate led to good living standards for working people, United States, 1955.
Yep. Dave?
Well, I would say, again, in light of the fraud and criminal negligence that is being exposed literally
it's been exposed,
as we are reporting this, the idea that we would be going in right now and saying to certain people, you should give the government more money and the government will be a good steward of those dollars, I think is completely ridiculous.
We have to say, Dave Rubin has to say what's been exposed and what's being exposed, because nothing actually has been exposed.
Yeah, and not only that, he's also either completely incapable of understanding this guy's point or deliberately avoiding it because he's incapable of understanding it. But this guy's not saying give the government money because it's going to expend it in some way that is going to decrease wealth inequality, although it is redistributive. Like, they can't talk about the redistribution anymore,
Right?
Because they know that's a problem. So they've had to change it into waste and efficiency.
And
But,
even Ruben kind of gives it away there when he says the government, do I trust them to be a steward? It's like, no one's asking the government to be a steward. That's not the function of the government. It's about redistributing wealth in a way that makes society better.
But at the very least, if they just took it and burned it from those people, it would decrease wealth inequality.
Because people like a place like BlackRock and all these private equity companies wouldn't have all this money from over-moneyed rich people that they need to spend on buying up bridges and rental buildings.
100%. They're out there so desperate to make their money work. You've got hedge funders buying up hospitals, buying up all sorts of medical facilities, vets, the dentists. I mean, anything that they can come in and cut the workforce by 10, 20%. And make their profits there and get the, we can get you a 12%, 14% return.
We're losing Charlie.
Maybe more. And there are people out there with just so much money. They're hoarding so much money. They're like, we gotta find a place to make this money work for me. Go ahead, continue.
Steward of those dollars, I think is completely ridiculous.
We can probably all agree about the waste, right? I mean, that's
no,
but
sure, but
the principle of what Gary's talking about.
Well, I am for everyone keeping as much of their hard-earned money as possible. Piers, my guess is you have more money than me. I don't deserve your money, and I can't have it.
I sincerely hope I do, and no, you don't.
Exactly.
Is it hard-earned money when people go and speculate in crypto, in stock valuations, in just like, is it hard earned when you're basically just coming in and saying, yes, cut the workforce by 10%, my stock will increase, and I'll just take that.
I mean,
is that hard earned?
All the hard work the billionaires did.
Or is it just like awarded?
Yeah, like Gary gets into like, billionaires are making so much more money. That's why I started talking about Elon Musk. Do you think it was because of he started working harder? He just wasn't working quite as hard before the pandemic, and then he started working. Oh, he's even working 23 hours on ketamine a day instead of 22, and now that's why he's making. No, it's because
he must have been working twice as hard if he doubled his net worth. Must have been working twice as hard. He could have been working, 24 times 7? He could have been working 48 times 7.
He could have, and Gary even said it in his response was that people like that are making $200 million a year on passive income, just like having that kind of wealth accrue.
Money, and I can't have it.
I sincerely hope I do, and no, you don't.
Exactly. And I don't deserve your money either. And I think that the overall concept here,
nobody's talking about giving it
somehow if we can just take from these people, it's not to say that the system
I want to be
is
clear.
perfect.
I'm not trying to take from the rich. I'm not trying to take from the rich.
But you just said you wanted to go back to 1950
I am trying to stop the redistribution. I am trying to stop the redistribution that is happening in front of our eyes. The American middle class, the British middle class is dying. Their wealth is being sucked away and is being owned by an international super rich elite who pay no tax, while the people watching this show pay 40%, 50%, while billionaires pay nothing.
Let me ask you a difficult question.
But I don't know.
Let me ask you a difficult question.
Come at me.
I've got a difficult question, which is, there are a lot of people watching this agreeing, and obviously people disagree as well, but 2 questions. How much money have you made in your life?
We're going to break because they get into this thing of why don't you donate money to charity, which is just besides the point. Everyone knows that this needs to be a societal policy and not the largesse of certain lucky people that are working class who happen to be traders. But here's where they actually...
Here's also the giveaway in that, I should say, the word tax is different than the word donate. So you can tell those are different things.
Simple, yeah.
And then you can explore what is the difference between a tax and donation. Tax is a requirement that everyone is subject to at certain income brackets. A donation is completely voluntarily and also ends up being a tax break and costs the government money. Go ahead.
Yeah, here he is.
East London.
Okay, so what I'm still trying to wrestle with. All right, look, you're perfectly entitled to do with your money what you want to do. Okay, and you haven't demanded we give ours away. Fine. Okay, I get that. But what is your answer? I mean, if you had the chance now to run the Western world economically, give me the blueprint for how we stop going down what you think is an apocalyptic path.
Tax work less, tax wealth more. Oh, simple as that. You can't have ordinary working people paying 40-50% while billionaires pay 5%.
But ordinary working people don't. You mean the middle class? That's not working class.
Working class people pay 30, 40, 50% once you include everything. Once you include their VAT, once you include their income taxes, they do. Once you include their health taxes,
what would it be for a flat tax? Pick whatever the number is, 12% on.
No, because it won't work. A flat tax is still going to work. Listen.
So what would you like to see?
I know you're an American, okay? Listen, look at the history of my country, okay? For hundreds and hundreds of years, a small, tiny, super wealthy elite lived the fucking dream while ordinary people live lives of desperate poverty, okay? That is what's going to happen to your country, and that is what's going to happen to my country if you do not protect the working class from the rich.
But that's exactly what we're doing right now. That's what
we'll see. We've made our bets.
That's what Donald Trump's entire movement is all about. It's a movement of we the people. And by the way, what you said earlier, Piers, was completely right. Pre-COVID, go to Donald Trump's State of the Union speech before COVID. What does he do? He gets up there, talks.
Dave, just so dumb. How does anybody look at that conversation and come away with? Dave is a deer in headlights there.
It helps when the host is in the bag for the same idea.
Right.
100%.
But Piers did a better job, even though it was agonizing, explaining it than even his guest did. But that's Piers Morgan's role, right? Morgan is essentially the host version of this debate thing of Dave Rubin, where Rubin's now just a full-blown conservative, but Piers kind of pretends he's still a liberal, even though that's just straight out of what I would hear on Fox News in 2012 or something like that.
We're still faced with that, and I would also say, yes, I would inhibit the ability. I mean, I would take it a little bit further. I would inhibit the ability of people to earn that. Now, the problem is that we haven't had 1955 or 1965, for that matter, tax rates in this country over the past 20 years, or really over the past 50 years. And so we need to claw some of that wealth back. So we need to have that highest to top marginal tax rate, like we did in the 1950s in this country, which was 90 cents on every dollar over 470,000, which would today be $3 million. And then we need to have a wealth tax so that we can claw some of that money back. Yep. Because it is both economically unsustainable and unsustainable in the context of democracy. We've talked about that all day today. The reason why Republicans are going to be less responsive to the fact that people don't want them to cut Medicaid. They don't want them to kick their parents out of the nursing home. They don't want them to have 40% of the births in this country that are covered by Medicaid somehow happened, I don't know, by some walk-in medical clinic that's doing a sale on births this week. The reason why people don't want people to go hungry in this country. The reason why Republicans are not as sensitive to the obvious issues that Americans have with what's going on is because Elon Musk has so much money, and has promised so much money, that there is an unprecedented disincentive for these Republican politicians to even respond to the threat that their own constituents represent. Be a Republican is to want to cut Social Security, to get rid of the administrative state, to privatize these things. But sometimes, and what has been in the past, at least a mitigating force on this, a break, has been the idea that, hey, wait a second, people don't want that. In this instance, though, you've got an unlimited amount of money saying, if you don't support it, despite the fact of what you're hearing your constituents, we're just going to fund your job away by funding a rival in your primary. Period. End of story. You're going to more money. You're not going to be able to see. It's going to be such a blizzard of money. story from yesterday. Shares magazine. Buffett keeps his powder dry as Berkshire Hathaway's cash pile tops $134 billion. When you hear the term dry powder in investment, it means money that people like Warren Buffett and these big investors have that they cannot figure out where to spend it on. They have too much money. They don't know how to even invest. A couple years ago was saying, I got to go to Mars. Exactly, and the thing is that Pierce started that with all these these businesses Musk owns. The people that work at those businesses are the reasons those businesses have any success. It is not the ownership. The people that, and that's why the that guy's policy prescription, which is to tax work less, tax capital or wealth more, is exactly where we need to get, because people who own stuff are not working. The people who work for people who own stuff, those are the people that are working. It's a very simple point, and those are the people who need to be served. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yup. I hear you loud and clear.
1 second, actually. Let me got my volume up still. Can you give me a vocal check here? Can you say something here?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Checkity check.
Excellent. Loud and clear. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Couldn't be any better. Couldn't be any better. Literally perfect. I'm sorry. Hey, how's your there? How's your weekend?
I want some of that. Weekend was pretty good. It was I don't know what the hell I did Friday.
How's the jam out?
Yeah, Saturday. Jam was good. Jamming was good.
I feel like such a piece of shit, dude. I can never remember your brother's name.
Oh no worries. It's Mike.
Mike, God damn, why can't I remember that? That's my brain is dog shit.
No worries.
But no, Mike's awesome.
Yeah. We just headed out to Elmhurst and a bunch of beers and jammed in the basement, and they took smoke breaks, and we ate a sub sandwich.
It's a good time, man.
That's the extent of it.
Dude, I used to do that shit like twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, like and doing getting writing, going hardcore about it, and man, good times.
Yeah, this is a little different though. We're not really
no, for sure. I mean, you're still kind of working on something, even if you're doing covers for a song. You're still technically working on music.
Yeah,
you know. So it's not a whole lot. It's honestly if you were doing just making your own music and doing recording and whatnot. It's not all that different, dude. The process is the same.
Yeah, we did a little bit of just kind of jamming out that component a little bit.
It's awesome. I just had a typical weekend. A lot of video games. I watched that movie, The Substance, man. Woo! That movie's wild, dude. It definitely gave me.
Well, I thought.
Go ahead. Sorry, please.
Go ahead.
No. You
Go
thought
ahead,
what?
go ahead.
No, I will remember. Go ahead.
No, I thought I heard it was an Academy Award winner, but the Oscars were just last night, so I think it was like one, whatever the other award.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a good movie though.
Yeah, let me.
I don't think Demi Moore won anything.
Let me double check. Let me see. The Substance Oscars. All right, well, they were nominated for Best Makeup, Best Director, Best Picture, really? Let's see.
Yeah, that's what the Golden Globes, that's what I think I heard it was nominated there or whatever.
So I guess Demi Moore lost the Oscar, and there's kind of people aren't happy about it.
Yeah, it's a little hard to hide your emotions, most likely.
Yeah, Substance thing.
Well, crushing.
Wait, they won makeup and hairstyling, which I get. I mean, it was a great movie. Honestly, just call it like a great movie. It's like it's not like it feels like a throwback to like classic horror. Classic like body horror gore, but it just doesn't give a shit, and it's like, but it juxtaposes like different imagery, which is super cool, and it's like super beautiful and colorful, and then on the other end, like gore. It's very interesting. It's just good. It's just good. I mean, but it's to say it's like a fantastic. I mean, in that genre, like it feels like a throwback. It feels like something from like the late 70s. Something. It's great.
Good. Yeah, it's on my list. You have to just carve out the time to watch it.
Yeah, I've got Longlegs is next on my list. I watched this movie Cuckoo. I think I told you that. It was terrible.
Yeah, you told me that one wasn't so good.
Very good. But yeah, I'm gonna watch Longlegs.
That guy who directed.
Go ahead.
You're gonna do what?
Longlegs and Nosferatu.
I thought you said you watched Longlegs. No.
Not yet.
Oh, that's up. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's supposed to be good. I just read today that movie was directed by Osgood Perkins, who is the son of Anthony Perkins, the guy from Psycho.
Oh, interesting.
And Osgood Perkins has a new movie out right now called The Monkey, which
Stephen King.
know. Yeah, it's Stephen King.
Everyone's loving that apparently, man.
The Monkey?
That's doing really, The Monkey. Yeah, apparently it's getting rave reviews.
Yeah?
People are loving it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. The review I saw in this magazine that I get the week, they only gave it 2 stars. But
really? Oh my god!
Cool that other people are.
I've been hearing other. Let me pull this up. I love that fact. The Monkey. 25.
I didn't look into it.
Let me see like what it got. Like, yeah, 78 in Rotten Tomatoes, which like isn't bad. Ray-Ban trailer.
It's good.
I mean, from at least from like horror fans, like I've heard like horror into it.
That's cool. Good.
Is this on theaters or is it? I don't even know how long stuff stays in theaters.
It must be. It probably just came out because I just got the magazine, I think, a couple days ago.
I haven't. There's a movie theater right by Wrigley Field that's walking distance from my apartment, and like I haven't gone. I feel pretty stupid, but whatever. Dude. We'll see what happens.
Is it an IMAX theater? Do you know?
No, I don't think so. It's
no.
I think it's like kind of like a it's called the Alamo, and it's right on Clark, and like I think that they serve drinks and shit. I think it's like one of those kind of theaters.
Yeah, most places do these days. I don't know what took them so long to get on top of that. But...
Right.
The hell were you thinking, movie theaters?
Well, I mean, I kind of get it. You don't have people too drunk.
Well, they price the beer so fucking high. I don't think
there's
much danger of people getting too out of control. Really take
Shit,
care
have
of
you
that.
tried Bullet? I don't know if I'm a fan, but if you want to go on a meat grind map, I'm willing to jump into Bullet. But I don't know if I'm feeling it, to be honest. It's not.
Don't worry.
It's not like it's not like a shipment. You know what I mean? Doesn't have it? It feels way. It's so you know how they show the map at the beginning of a match, like kind of like a diagram of the map. All it is just like a tube, straight line, a very thin.
Oh god.
It's just a line.
Yeah. I'll check it out on my own.
No, wait, you still haven't played it?
No.
Oh, we're jumping in. If you haven't played it, we're jumping. You gotta try it because you can get on top of the train too, actually, and like you're speeding by and everything's going by you. It's pretty rad. You should check it out.
Okay.
Let's get in there. Do you I've got to do. I need one more kill with stick camp upgrade activate. But that's all I gotta do. What challenges you get? Have you been in yet?
Oh no. I gotta get 50 kills aiming down sights, 50 eliminations with the strategic combat specialty equipped.
Okay, wait, let me back out. Need to set up something with your strategic, the strategist.
No, I'm all good. I'm done.
You're set. What, you got that set?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
What strategist? What is that actually? Is that green or is that?
I don't know. I just set it up and ignore it.
Strategist. No, it's green. It is green.
It's green. I know that much, but
yeah, if you got it set up, right?
Yeah, it's ready to go.
So you just basically you get those two challenges done at the same time.
Yeah, earn a score bonus for objectives and destroying enemy equipment.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Whatever, I don't pay attention.
Some of those are just kind of like
just words.
It just doesn't do a whole. It doesn't feel like it does a whole lot.
Yeah.
Some of them might, but I don't know. But I've been sticking with red perks. That works best for me.
Yeah, me too.
I love the red perks. I love Gung Ho, gives you faster sprint to fire. Double time gives you longer tactical sprint time. I've got Scavenger. Just because it refills everything. It's the best Scavenger in Call of Duty. I do not believe that Scavenger would fill your equipment. I thought I'm pretty sure in the but now you'll get it'll refill your tactical. It's almost like you do I do have an munitions box or assault pack, whatever you call it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to whip that next time I have the red ones going.
But I use the greed perk, so I have an extra. Perk, and I got tracker. So I do have one blue. But the three other reds have to give me the specialist. All right, so this is the first time you're on this map?
Yep, that is correct.
Let's go.
You go up top.
It is, it's
That's
skinny.
cool. Bad.
And if you get a chance, jump up on the top. There's sometimes stairs. Wait, you are on the top, aren't you? Oh shit! Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Wow, it's flying.
Oh, it is.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I think the top is cooler than the inside. The inside's really tight. This is a little more you can probably use a sniper on top here.
I just found out that you can't jump off the train and survive.
Oh no, yeah, you definitely get wrecked.
You can't just run along the side of the train. Oh, man. Game's hard.
push it.
I kind of like, well, the doors are kind of fun because if you throw a bomb, then you gotta make sure you don't have it shut on you and
This is
ricochet
true.
back at you.
Yeah, the doors are kind of nuts. They're like crazy fast. They're like unnaturally fast.
Yeah.
They're like
Whoa.
faster than like Star Trek fucking doors.
Yeah,
over the
right.
bridge.
Yeah, there's no door that opens that fast.
Doors that open faster than the speed of light. Cause like a sonic boom whenever they open.
Neutralizado. Incoming flashbang.
Whoa. That's some intense shit right there.
This might be more of a meat grinder map than shit, man. Gonna be honest. I thought that one new map that was on the boat, that was really small, was a meat grinder map, but goddamn, dude, this is a sausage map.
Yeah. Oh, they're all piled up there. Oh, man. Quad kill. Shit.
Yeah, I'm getting wrecked.
Jammed up back there. Come on. Oops. Sorry. We're up here now. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, okay, I love this map. This map is fun. You remember when I said before that it kind of reminds me of the one map in Cold War where there's like the airplane like in the middle of the map you go into, but it's like it's just the airplane.
I'm trying to remember this one.
I think it was like a chess. I think it was like Checkmate or something like that.
So what's the? I don't remember it off the.
Cold War. It was in like a hangar. There was like an airplane right in the middle of the hangar. There's like a kind of a tower. That was a little annoying. People would sit up and kill people at.
So you're drawing a similarity to this game, or this?
Well, this reminds me of the airplane that was in the middle of that map.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But it's even tighter than the airplane. The airplane was a little wider than this.
Yeah.
And like the whole
That's
map
right.
is that airplane.
Okay, watch my new emote here. I got a new emote that I discovered tonight.
Oh. Are you on top? Yours.
Well, I'm in the top 3.
I'm on the ass bottom. Almost went positive though. Didn't do that. Alright, let me see your email.
Saggy moose nuts. I think it works.
Oh, the Terminator one?
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. Oh, I thought he would say "fuck you." Yeah, demo. Oh well.
He might say it if you were number 1.
If I was first place.
If you were first place, I think if there's music or anything like connected, you'll hear it. But only if you're in first place.
Right.
Think.
Sounds about right.
I mean, I still need one more kill with my acoustic amp field upgrade, which is quite frankly a useless upgrade, especially on this map. Shit, except for destruction and death and train flying by. Oh man.
Huh.
What's up?
How's your Monday? No, I didn't have any of my strategist combat specialty things registering.
Whoa.
But
I'm backing
that's
out.
probably
I backed out.
because I picked the wrong. No, I probably picked the wrong gun.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think I picked the LMG because I've been working on the LMG and I meant to pick the submachine gun.
Okay, all right.
We'll
get us back in.
I was focused on the map.
Oh, no worries. What do you? After one match, do you have feelings about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Not as fun as Shipment by a long shot.
It's definitely it's a sausage map, bro. It squeezes everyone into battle, and it's
like whatever.
I don't hate it, but it's. I wish it was just a little wider. I like that there's like the second floor, but it's a little disorientating for me. Flying by like that, it's a little.
Yeah, maybe if you could like walk or climb outside of the train and kind of shimmy down the
side.
I know that's not like realistic. Yeah, the side.
Yeah, that'd be nice. You just can't. There's no. I haven't seen any areas where you can. You have to either go. It's a 2-level, no sides.
Does it go into tunnels?
I don't know if it goes into tunnels. I think like there's like viaducts and shit.
Or viaducts. Will you die if you're standing?
I don't know. Like, do you see the map there?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, check it out. And when we play, and they show, you know how they showed like the little diagram at the beginning of the match. It's hilarious. It's just like it's hilarious. Like I've never seen a map like this.
Yeah, I definitely was using the wrong gun.
I think only Treyarch would make maps like this, though. Like, I feel like all like the ones that are like on boats or like on weird. Well, I mean, no. Treyarch always seems to want to put you in weird spots. Infinity Ward and wants to just keep you rooted.
Like, what's behind door number 1? What's behind door number 2?
Probably an enemy.
We're losing Alpha.
Alright, I got all the way to the back. Oh, there's a sniper sitting up top there.
Well, seriously. See, I haven't tried sniping
Yeah.
up there.
Oh, he fucking heard me or something. He turned around the minute I got up there.
Oh,
goddamn.
no. All right, I'm up here.
Oh, what a dick.
I can't see shit. I'm breaking out a sniper. I mean, almost. Yep. God, yeah, there's like... It's pretty hard to get up there. Careful.
I killed 2 of the snipers.
Oh, I got that guy.
You got
All
the
right.
last one? Nice. Clear him
Oh,
out.
yeah. Shit, that guy got
Oh, I
me.
didn't see that guy.
Alright, I'm gonna class him. Was it alright? I'm trying to grab these. Come on, maybe. Let me see if going to Kimbo. See if
There's a guy up here, I'm sure.
Losing A. Losing Alpha. Fuck you.
Oops.
Cover me. Taking me.
Nah, why am I even bothering getting on the top of this train? That's stupid.
Losing Bravo.
Had one good run. That's about the same size of it. Ooh.
I'm gonna see if it Kimbo with the SOGs work better on this map. I'm going for triple kills with the SOG and having trouble. Is it Kimbo the answer?
They're just waiting for us to come down there. They're not coming up at all. Yeah. Alright, signal lure. Need one more, I think. Oh.
Incoming lethal. Losing Alpha.
I shouldn't bother going up on the roof. I'm running a very angry acute build right now, but at distance someone's got me with a sniper. Should mess it up.
Losing A. We're losing Alpha.
So season 3 was delayed a couple weeks. I don't know if you heard about that. I mean, he's probably alive today. And, see what I don't know. Everyone's like concerned, but I don't know. Whatever. They're supposed to bring back the original Warzone map for Dansk in this next season. People are looking forward to it, and this delay has gotten people
Get cocky. This shit ain't over.
concerned. Because they just haven't been updating the game enough and fixing problems. Because I guess like there's been a pretty large fall off as far as players in Warzone.
Bravo fucking Zulu, Black Ops.
Okay, I'm on top of that game.
Yeah, hell yes. And I am on the brutal bottom. Good God. Team not top two.
Team both sides of the
top
spectrum.
bottom. Team top bottom. All right. That's what we want. I've got a pretty good emote. If I ever end up on the top somehow, I'll show you.
Everything's.
Oh shit! Hey, do you got time for another?
Yeah, I'm good to go for another if you are.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I lost track of time.
On.
Love that. Oh, Overdrive. I kind of like Overdrive. You see enemies through the walls for like a second when.
Oh.
And if you get enough kills, you get like super fast reload speed. Oh man. Yeah, work's been fine. God damn it. I try to talk to Dave, who sits right next to me, just about stuff. Like I had a plan this morning. Like I saw that movie Substance. You know what? When I enter, am I breaking up?
No. Well, not
So this is usually the time. Sorry.
Right.
Oh. It's during the loading. It's during the loading screen. I think what happens. Like the you know, I don't know what you see as far as loading screens go. Like right before the match. I don't know if you're seeing mine or if you're just seeing what you've got set up.
Like the image that you chose.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I have
see Adler there.
You have yours on Adler. I've got mine on random.
Yeah.
And like I don't even have the
Adler
Adler, so I never see the Adler one. So that might be the cause of the chat breakup. Possibly. Might have something. Yeah, it might have something to do with that.
Loading thing. That makes sense. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly when it breaks up. Oops. It's the end of the train. Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, my strategy today, socially, I was like, all right, I saw this movie, The Substance. I'm going to just ask people what they did over the weekends and talk about this movie. I've got communication and sociability locked and loaded, and I try to talk to Dave, and it's just impossible, dude. I'm like, yeah, I saw this movie, you know, it's pretty good, you know, and supposedly he's supposed to be into horror movies and stuff, and like I told him, like I'm trying to catch up on my 2024 movies, and you know, so this is pretty good, we're checking it out. He's like, basically, he was like, yeah, I should catch up on my 2024 movies too.
Brother.
I'm just like, please just ask a question. Can you like just like add something? Did you want to see this movie? Have you heard of this movie? Do you know anything about it?
Did you hear about it? Yeah.
Anything, dude. I'm trying to talk, man, and just you make it impossible.
Yeah. Makes the day go by a little faster.
A little bit. Just like I don't know. I don't know what it is. And it's just like because I'm not the most sociable person in the world. It takes me effort to be sociable, and he is making it impossible. He is less sociable than I am, and that's absurd.
Criminy.
But whatever. I don't want to be judgmental like that. But.
What I want to tell you, Stephen King, I follow on BlueSky.
Oh, nice.
He posted a little clip of yeah, if you want to be like in the loop as far as what's coming out and what's horror movie wise, he usually is right on top of it.
Oh, Stephen King
Makes
is
sense, right?
he keeps up on the films, the newest stuff.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so he just posted posted a clip from a movie called The Lady in, it's either The Lady on the Lake or The Lady, oh wait, no, The Lady in the Yard.
Oh yeah, I heard. I did see
about
that. I think that's on that. That might be on Netflix actually.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I just saw the clip. It looked creepy.
Was that from last year?
It didn't give you a lot of information. I have no idea, but I think it must be new if he's commenting on it today.
Yeah, but it's probably. We're definitely in like a new golden age. Before, actually, this has been going on for a little while. I think it started up again when they did the remake of Evil Dead 2 a few years back. I think we've been in a horror golden age that hopefully will never end.
Watch it!
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh shit.
Like
Did you see the clip for The Lady in the Yard?
No. I just saw like I think I just saw it up on Netflix or it's like under the horror. I haven't seen the trailers, which is great. I've been staying away from trailers really well. I haven't even seen a trailer for Long Legs. I'd rather go into the movies.
Come on. Oh. Yeah, trailers could often be super deceiving.
That's true.
Sometimes they make a movie look worse. I don't know how they do it, but it's like, god damn, that trailer looks bad, and the movie wasn't that bad.
I don't hate trailers. Sometimes trailers are cool, but like just lately, it's like I haven't been able to like watch movies. Like I've been in like a weird state of, just not being able to, and I'm like trying to get back into it, and I think not having any knowledge or expectations, not seeing a trailer definitely helps me. Like definitely helps me get into it. Just like check it out. Like, I'd rather go blind.
Well, the other thing that happens too is like some of them they just give away way too much. It's like,
It's true.
What are you gonna save for the fucking movie?
They only do that with really bad movies.
Incoming lethal!
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like I got because like honestly like the trailer for my favorite kind of trailers are the ones that like aren't in the movies. Like do you remember the trailer for Terminator 2 where they had like the conveyor belt where they're like making Terminators? Remember that? It was like the trailer for Terminator 2, and like it was like they were like making all the Arnolds, and at the end, like Arnold opened his eyes, and his eyes were red, and like the T-tube, ching, like you know what I'm talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm saying.
No,
but it wasn't in the movie.
But... Oh god.
It was like its own thing, and like, but it got me so it got me pumped, not just for it got me pumped for Terminator in general. Like, I saw that trailer, then like I went and saw the original one, the Terminator. Like that got me into Terminator. Jeez, like, that trailer. But it like wasn't in the movie. It's like its own thing, and like that's great. The trailer should be.
Oops, sorry.
Trailers should be their own thing. And just something that make you want to watch the movie. You know what I mean? Because like that trailer like didn't. If you don't remember this trailer, I had to send it to you because like it. Honestly, it is like it has nothing to do with the movie. It wasn't in the movie, and it literally got me into Terminator altogether. I hadn't even seen the original yet when I saw that trailer. I was became a Terminator super fan. And this is like fun. It's like little child. I just want a murder spree. I got a mega kill. I'm not even sure what that means.
You got what?
A mega kill. You ever got one of those?
Kill?
Mega.
Yeah, I don't.
Dark spine unlocked.
Sounds fun.
Oh, that better be the
victory team top 2. Look at that.
Ooh, close game, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, this better be.
There it is.
Let's go. Let's go. Check this shit out.
Mega kill. Yeah, I love how they're all lit up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's show me where they're at. Here they
Yeah,
come.
I saw those guys coming. I was like,
murder spree.
showed Mega Kill. I want to Mega Kill.
Okay. Yeah, never
Oh
seen
wait,
that
oh
one.
let me oh shit, here we go. Oh, that's not the right one. I'm sorry. That's been there, done that.
All right, well, I rocked out my challenges and those matches. That worked out. Actually, maybe that game isn't so bad.
Nice. Actually, I didn't finish my challenge.
Okay, you want to go again?
I'm willing to go again if you are.
All right, sure.
I keep forgetting. I need to get kills with this perk. Acoustic amp field upgrade. Got 2 out of 3. I just keep forgetting about it.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty easy to do on this map because. Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Shit. Gotta back out. I gotta change my weapon because I just unlocked spine, dark spine on my SOGs. Going to the next. No, I'm done. I'm done with the SMG shit. All right. I'm gonna do. I need to do snipers. I think. I'm done with SMGs. I'm done with ARs. I'm done with pistols. I've got a couple melees done. So I think I'm gonna move on to snipes. All right. Sorry.
No, no worries, man.
So you do have time for one more?
Yeah, sure.
All right. We're gonna go. We're just gonna go on a regular map, and I'm gonna try to do some sniping shots. So let's.
Sounds good.
A little smaller. I'm bigger. Sorry. Oh man. Weekends fly by so quick. You know, whatever, dude. I'm just trying to emotionally combine the weekend and the week. It's kind of like one thing where like it doesn't really matter what day it is. It's cool. Monday's fine.
The time goes, it's flying by for me. I got a dental appointment. Well, I had a dental appointment last week, and I have to go back tomorrow to get a couple fillings replaced. But just like, you know, when you break up time like that, like 6 months, you know, if I go to, not everybody does it, obviously, but I go to the dentist generally every 6 months. They set up a new appointment, and I go, and I'm like, holy shit, how did 6 months fucking go away? I mean, go that fast, you know? Same with the eye doctor. I see the eye doctor once a year. I got that coming up too, and I'm like, how is it that, I swear to God, it feels like I was there, like, how is that fucking possible?
Yeah, I hate the fact that time goes by so quickly.
You're falling behind.
Must be very uneasy.
But days, you know, these days where you're listening to Trump's latest bullshit.
Oh god.
Like, how is time going fast and slow at the same time?
Hardpoint identified.
I know this probably isn't like a big deal for you, but I just got like a new credit card, or bank card, because mine expired. This my new one expires when I'm 50. I'm just kind of. I'm like, oh yeah.
Hopefully that'll take a while.
Yeah, I don't think it will. I think I'll be fucking 50 before I know it. you know, but I'm trying to be cool about it because, like, I'm not, obviously not the first person to turn fucking 50.
Dude.
It's something
like, you know.
Go ahead.
I get these, you know, whatever. Like I got a notice today that, the CDC is recommending pneumonia shots for anyone over 50. You know, I'm like, oh great, so that's me.
You are you're not your typical like over 40-year-old. Like you keeping you I don't know, you got something. You got good genetics.
Just drink human blood and you'll live forever.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Seriously, I'll do it right now. I always wanted to be a vampire.
Enemy mine, front.
I remember people telling me quite a long time ago, like, you know, like this one bartender carded me. And I was like 31 or something like that, and she's like, she looked at my ID and she's like, "You're holding up pretty good." And I was like, I thought she meant like I was holding my liquor pretty good. I was like, what are you talking about?
Like
she meant like age-wise, you know, like I guess I looked way too young to be even 21 or whatever she thought.
Hey, use that to your highest. I do have this. I'm lucky. Oh, I feel like I look younger than my age. And
yeah,
I've got, you know, we both got good
Your
hairlines.
hair. Yeah.
Oh yes,
yeah,
the hair's got a lot to
the
do with
biggest part, man.
Drink a lot of water.
Who does not have hair is envious of you.
Yeah, that's kind of a big one. I think like losing your hair turns you a right winger. It's the only reason why you and I are progressive. So have our hairlines. Going bald just creates a hatred inside you that just turns you into
that Bill Burr anger. He has that in spades, man. Wow. That Philadelphia. I wish the recording was a little better. The one that I saw was pretty blurry.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the vocal.
It's just how.
I mean,
so
the
long
audio.
ago,
That's like the best audio you can get because it was like it wasn't officially recorded. It was recorded by people who were in the crowd.
Yeah. Bootleg, yeah. Sort of like.
Yeah, that really. I mean, he was. Everyone knew who Bill Burr was before that, but like that kind of turned him into legendary status.
Incredible. There's a rant.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
I like how he was counting down. He's like 3 more minutes. 2 more minutes.
Perfect.
He's
it
like
created like a classic comedy
Like
callback. He's just so good. He's a true comedian. And it's just great.
Yeah.
But if he didn't use the F slur, I think it would have been perfect. It would have been. I mean, that's like the F slur's not necessary, and it's a hateful thing to say. And if he didn't, if he didn't call the people in the crowd that like.
Yeah, he'd need more things to say.
And give it time.
He was using it.
Yeah, he wasn't using it like.
Next burn.
I understand it. I mean, yeah, he could have been using it in first context. He was just trying to insult these people. He wasn't calling gay people that. A whole other level using that, but just using that word in general.
Yeah.
Not cool, but hey. Besides that, it was the perfect roasting of Philadelphia. A city that deserves nothing but roasting. Have you ever been to Philly?
Never been there. Nope.
It's kind of cool town, man. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Philadelphia. Like there's a club called the Trocadero. That I like when I was touring, we would always play. I think we played like twice. but it's in Chinatown. And like, I feel like I've only seen the Chinatown part of Philadelphia. So I wouldn't mind going back and getting, seeing like the sites, at least like the revolutionary sites and stuff, like the Bell and all that shit.
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
I've only seen Chinatown in Philadelphia. But it's definitely a city.
The Eagles, the band.
You like the Eagles?
The band, not the band. No, not the band. The football team.
Football team, yeah, sure. Where are the Eagles, the band from?
Incoming Semtex.
They from
What's that?
The Eagles. Are they from Bermuda? Where are they from?
Oh, wait. The football team? What do you mean?
Oh, the football team, I know. Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm talking about the band Bermuda, Bahamas. Those guys. But no, that's the Beach Boys.
Oh, that's the Beach Boys, yeah.
God damn it. No, the Eagles. What song did the Eagles? The Eagles didn't do...
Like Hotel California.
Hotel California. Oh, Jesus. That's what I was thinking. I got that mixed up with Pokemon. These are all songs that people on cocaine listen to while they're...
There's a scene in The Big Lebowski where he's like, I hate the fucking Eagles.
Hardpoint locked down.
Oh my god, I'm about to like not... Dude, shit. I don't even have the field upgrade that I on the sniper class.
Feel that? They're about to break. Give them a nudge.
I might just
die. Yes.
Yeah, we're about to finish this match, and like I'm just going to just not challenges, I guess.
Murder spree. Oh.
I'm just gonna lay here until my field upgrade is ready to go. Try to finish this challenge. Okay, here we go.
Hardpoint active.
Shit! Oh, shit. Come over.
Yeah. Get out.
Hardpoint is secure.
Get out.
Get out.
The hardpoint.
So good. They should put the Terminator in every video game. Man, I've been pretty tempted to pick up that one Terminator game that looks it looks really good actually, called Terminator Resistance. But it's not like a multiplayer game, it's just like a campaign. But they do have like a mode where you play as Arnold, with the kind of the red, the red vision killing and shit, and that looks pretty rad. Might be worth the price of admission. But I'd be stoked if there was a Terminator game that had like some kind of multiplayer.
You made it look easy, Crimson.
They never stood a chance.
I still got you?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Sure. I was talking for a long time, I didn't hear anything, and I've done that before.
Yeah. You'd be stoked if there was a Terminator game with multiplayer.
Yeah, Terminator Resistance. I'm
cool.
I'm gonna have to wait for that to be on super sale. Dude, job. You 48 kills? What were you using?
That game I was using Anto submachine gun, I believe.
Jeez. Good game, man.
Yeah, I had a couple of really good runs there where I was just on a fucking
impressed
after another. Got like
impressive.
Them all.
All right. Well, Or if I was going to be a responsible adult, I should probably go.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I'm done with my challenges. I think I need a break anyways. So, good. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday.
I'll be on Taco Tuesday.
Oh, well,
more
hey.
multiplayer, and then prelude to DMZ.
I'm grinding this camo. I'm gonna be done with it soon. When I'm done with it, I'm going to put it. I'm gonna do some homework, some DMZ homework, scholarly work, some research. I'm going to borrow books from iShare, and that will help with DMZ.
You should devote your life to the study of DMZ and go to grad school and write some definitive papers. Passed down through the ages.
A professor of DMZ. I teach college students how to play. Yeah, and I'm like, and then once part 2 comes out,
picture what that would look like.
Once part 2 comes out, though, it'll be.
Oh God, yeah, no doubt. Oh well, we'll be in good practice for. I mean, could it possibly be harder? I doubt it. I don't know if you can make a game.
You know what? I'm okay if it's harder, but I just hope it's like has a better setup and like a better economy, like better, like shit you can do with stuff you gather outside of the game. Like you should be able to take all that shit. You should be able to craft stuff. You should be able to break stuff down. You should be able to like, get money or whatever, you know, and like you should be able to like trade weapons. It needs to be, because that's what it's all about. You grab the gear, and then like what you do outside of the game with the gear is like what it's all about. And they just didn't do that. Anyway.
Cool, man.
Excellent. Hey, good
right.
games. Good, very good games.
Games, yeah.
Hit me up tomorrow. I'm same bad time, same bad channel.
All right, we'll do.
Excellent.
Have a good night.
You too. Later. And you have a wonderful night too.